All right, so today what we're going to do is we're going to be doing a few of these, and the reason why we're going to be doing a few of these poses is that personally for me, I find that these are some of the most cool poses to try to draw for your characters, but they're also some of the hardest. I don't know, put an F in the chat if you guys know what I'm talking about. If you've ever tried to do a pose like this where, you know, there's a little bit of maybe distortion, or maybe, you know, a character's hand is in the foreground, or it's a crazy perspective like this, these are fun to look at, fun to see, but I think incredibly hard to do ourselves. And so I wanted to do these with you guys so that I can get better at it. But also, if you want to try to do it yourselves, you can hopefully follow these exercises and learn how to do it. Now, obviously, there's no guarantee that after this video, after this stream, that you are going to be a pro at doing this. But the whole point of this is just to kind of show you guys how I approach studying these things. And then that way, if you are struggling with trying to figure out how to study these things, at least you can fall back and check out what I'm doing on today's stream. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And yeah, let's just start, man. Let's just get into it today. What do you guys want to do? Let's let the community, the live stream community, decide today. I'll give you guys some options. We'll do I'll write it like this: A, B, C, and D. So we have these options right here. Let me do a quick poll for everybody. Poll. A, hold on. A, B, C, D. All right, there you go. And then you guys just type 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 1 for A, 2 for B, 3 for C, 4 for D. Okay, I'll tell you now, all of these are going to be tough. They're all very difficult poses, so you can't go wrong. For some reason, a lot of you really want to do D. That's interesting. I'm very surprised, to be honest. I really thought we were going to go a different direction today, but that is why we asked the community. I think, if I'm being honest, I think D might be the easiest. D might be the easiest one. I think so, but we'll do it together. I think easy is obviously a relative one, right? It's a relative term. So what might be easy for me might be difficult for some of you. And for example, I think for me personally, the most difficult one I think is actually B. Funny enough, I think B might be the hardest one to do, but for some of you, that might be the easiest one, right? So we'll go ahead, and it looks like we're doing D today. All right, so we're gonna go and get started with that one, and I'm gonna put some of the other ones away for now. Let's put this guy away, and we'll put her. We'll keep her. I like her big eyes, so we'll put that right over there. All right. Somebody on the Twitch side asked me, why did I private my last stream? It's because it got demonetized, because we were singing Jesse McCartney and watching Japanese anime music videos, and so it got demonetized, and it's just a hassle. It's a hassle to deal with on YouTube, but it's still available on Twitch. If you guys want to watch it on Twitch, it's still there. It's just on the YouTube side, it's gone. Yeah, it ain't there, unfortunately. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and make this image bigger. And what I'm going to start off with, actually, whenever I'm doing these exercises, is I want to try to get a frame of reference, right? So we're going to go ahead here, and we can just actually, I'm going to use the line tool. I don't usually use the line tool, but you know what? Let's start with that. So we're going to just try to, we're going to try to build out a frame here for this one, right? And this frame is just going to help us with visualizing roughly how we want to approach this drawing. It doesn't mean that we have to, you know, keep everything contained in this drawing, but it's just going to help us, I think, with establishing the space. So I'm just putting that there, boom. And then from here, the first thing I like to do with any of these realistically is I like to just figure out where the perspective is. So when I'm looking, I'm trying to find these, clues to help me land where the perspective is. So if we were to take a look, for example, this one's a little tricky, I'm not going to lie, because you'll see here that there's some warping actually going on here with this image. But I imagine that all of these buildings are probably converging into a horizontal line that is probably right here. Something like this, where it's effectively at the bottom. Now, whenever I do these exercises, I'm not trying to get it exactly right. I'm just trying to figure out roughly where I want things to be placed. So in my mind, I feel like, yeah, it's probably down here, right? It's okay if it's not exact. That's not the point of the exercise, realistically. It's just trying to get it spot on. And then what we could do is, for funsies, after we do some of these poses, we could try to draw our own characters on top of them. So I know some of you guys are into my story Ground Zero, and we do have some OCs over on that side. We got here Adon, Reina, and Kai, and we even did a turnaround for Kai recently last stream. I don't know if I showed you guys this. I mean, I did most of this on stream last stream. So yeah, we'll see. If we have some time, we can probably try to draw our characters on top, so that way you guys can see how that approach works as well. But okay, let's get to it. So here I'm going to establish just that perspective grid. I'm going to use blue because I think blue is a nice color for that. And what I will do is I'm going to actually lay out where I want the horizon line first. And then from that horizon line, I also kind of want to imagine where that ground plane is. Now you can kind of see here how crazy this shot will be, because obviously we're so warped on the image. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but in my mind, I'm just trying to lay out effectively where the character is standing. It's going to be right there. Now, from here, you might have seen other artists maybe do a thing where they kind of create a grid and stuff. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but there are many artists who will do a grid type of structure to kind of help them lay things out. And we can do that as well. If it helps you visualize things, obviously go for it. In this case right here, I'll do it, but normally I don't. Normally I don't use a grid because I sometimes find that the grid can feel a little limiting, actually. I think when you start to work with a grid, it can sometimes force you to have to I have to kind of line it up. But I think it's okay. We'll start with this. And what I'm doing here is I'm just taking this perspective, right? So the horizon line, for those of you who are unfamiliar with this term, it's basically where the eye level is, right? And anything above the horizon line, you'll effectively be looking up at it. Anything below the horizon line, you'll be looking down at it. And so you can tell right away when something is not going to be here in the horizon line, because, for example, we're looking up at this character's neck, we're looking up at their torso, we're looking up at their hips, and all of these other components. So imagine you were standing in front of this girl. Maybe she's going to step on you, or maybe you're like a little ant and she's some gigantic girl and you're looking up, right? Like, that's kind of how you have to imagine it. Like, if you're looking up at something, chances are they're above the horizon line. So in this case, we're looking at this girl. She's pretty tall. Okay, she's probably gonna step over us. It kind of reminds me of that one movie. It was like Alien. It was like a white-haired girl who turns into an alien. Okay, or not an alien. She turns into like a gigantic person. I don't know. Maybe I'm in that's like a fever dream movie or something. But from here, what I want to do now is I want to start establishing another perspective point, right? And the reason why is because this one right here, it's actually a pretty straight on perspective. There's not really, for this character, there's not really a lot of tilting going on. But this perspective right here is just going to be another one all the way at the top. And this is going to effectively create something called a 3-point perspective, where we get to see the vertical side, right? And seeing how that might warp the image as well. Now, you might have noticed when I'm drawing these lines, I'm adding a little bit of curvature to it. I'm not just going in here and I'm making it straight. And the reason why is because of a type of lens that they're using in this photograph. And this is, I'm not going to get too much into this unless you guys want me to in this video. Let me know in the chat if you guys want me to talk a little bit about lenses. But I'm going to assume that that's a little bit higher level, maybe more advanced. And so instead, I'm just briefly mention it, where we have effectively 3 types of major lenses. We have something called a wide lens, right? We have a normal lens, and then we have a, it's sometimes called a long lens. I think we can call it that. Sometimes it's called a narrow lens, but effectively 3 types of lenses. And you can see that this type of effect where the character is kind of warped a little bit, this is achieved by using something called a wide lens. And what that does is it creates a slightly more distorted effect. And it also effectively creates sometimes what it's known as is the fisheye effect, right? That fisheye lens. And so in that case, what ends up happening is when you're using a wide lens, you're creating a distortion that basically pushes the perspective, these perspective points closer to the actual frame. And thus, to compensate for that, it creates kind of this wrapping form like this. Versus if you were to use a long lens would, a similar kind of take for a long lens would be, imagine you were taking your phone and you were taking a photo of, let's just say a mountain in the distance or something, right? Thank you for the sub, by the way, Mockbox on Twitch. Appreciate that. So for now, we're not going to get into these other lenses, right? I think this is going to be maybe another day, but we'll focus on the wide lens for now. And the whole point here of what I'm trying to say is that in this case, we're adding a little bit of curvature because we're accounting for some of that distortion, right? And you'll see here the way I'm doing it is I'm kind of fanning it out, right? So as we get closer and closer to this horizon line, that's effectively me kind of going whoosh. So we're kind of doing some of that. Yes, focal length will also affect certain things. The distance you are to the thing that you're photographing is also going to affect things, right? Like, for example, there's a lot more distortion on her than there is on the buildings in the back. So there's a couple things, right, that can really, that we can talk about when it comes to lenses and perspective. But let's save that maybe for another stream if that is something you guys are interested in. Or if you guys really want to deep dive, I actually have an after school program. It is my online program where you could join in, and I do tutorials like this effectively every Friday. So if you guys want to see that one, you could join in on that one. I think it's $5 a month to get the VODs, $10 if you want to join the live streams for those. But for today, we got this one. All right. So let's get into the fun stuff. So we did all this. We did all the little grid stuff just to kind of show you guys what we have. But now let's actually get in here and draw out what it is we want to draw. All right. So I'm going to lower the opacity because I want to use it. But again, it's mostly as a frame of reference. Any questions in the chat? Let's see. Let's read some chat messages. People surely are paying attention, right? All right, somebody said say potato. All right. Someone said bro,
will be running a 180-second ad break shortly. Thanks for supporting the stream.
Thank you for the ad break reminder. Perfect timing, actually. Bro, where's your old iPad? You used to watch me 2 years ago. The old iPad is still here. It's just I just don't use it here. I use it on my couch, actually. Whenever I'm just checked out watching Netflix, I just draw on my iPad, but I draw on the couch. So it's a lot easier for me to draw on the tablet here, especially if I'm doing animation and stuff, you know? Yeah. So that's really all it is. That's really all it is. We got some bots in the chat as well, too. Okay. We like the bots out here. Thank you guys for being bots. Someone on Someone on YouTube said, I would love to if you talk about lenses, but I understand it's harder, so it would be talked about later. Yeah, it's a bit of an advanced topic. I'm not gonna lie. It's a bit more crazy. It's a little bit more it hurts the brain, okay? It hurts the brain if it's your first time hearing about this information. Yeah. So somebody asked me, they said, Kasem, when are you slowing down on the educational stuff to do more you stuff you mentioned? Well, this is it. This is the you stuff, because these exercises are going to be what I'm going to be doing for the Ground Zero traditional cards. Wink, wink. See? So now I'm not just doing tutorials for the sake of trying to make viral videos like, hey, we got another head tutorial. Hey, let's make another one. Now I'm just making tutorials for me. Hey, you get it? I'm just doing it for me. So these are what I want to do. These are the topics I want to cover and study. But obviously, I want to make it so that you guys can follow along too, because these. I'm sure I'm not the only one, right? I'm sure I'm not the only one who's interested in this. Yo, okay. As I was saying before I got rudely interrupted, most of what I'll be doing out here on my streams is just kind of stuff that I need to be doing for myself, and I just figured, we might as well do it together on some of this. Also, if you guys haven't met my dog, that's Appa over here today that we have. Big chunky dude. I don't know why he's sleeping. I don't know why he's sleeping like that today. But that's him. That's who we have out here today. So yeah. Someone on YouTube said, hi Kasem, love your stream. One question, do you have moments that you just cannot figure out how to draw certain things, and how do you move on from that frustrated moment? Every day, man, every day. 100%. So okay, so the question was, do I have moments where I just can't figure out what to draw, and what do I do? So I think the way that I think about it is oftentimes, like, for example, I was doing these character turnarounds on stream, but I was personally struggling a lot with, even before doing it on stream, I was struggling with just trying to even approach it. And sometimes what I like to do is, when I think about what it is that I want to do, I try to take a step back and see what I need to accomplish to make sure I hit those things. So maybe what it is I need to go grab some references. Maybe I need to do some gesture practices to loosen up. So I always try to go back to the fundamentals whenever I am stuck. And if that doesn't work, sometimes you just need to go out, touch some grass, watch a show, listen to some music, hang out with friends, do anything that is not art related to give your mind hopefully a fresh start, so that you can come back in with a bit more clarity. But I don't know. Hopefully that helps. That's what I would say is something that I do, but it's a little bit tough. Jane on YouTube said they dropped out of university and will be going to art school because of me. Okay, Jane, thank you for being a huge supporter. I hope you don't come back here in September and you tell me you hate my guts, okay? I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm just gonna say it right now, okay? If you come back and you're like, man, Kasem, you scared me, bro. You scared me. I didn't tell you to do it. You did it. But I hope that it's a good choice. You know what I'm saying? I hope that it's something that you genuinely enjoy. We got another question. YouTube is very chatty today. I wonder why. Damn. Okay, YouTube's really like, okay, we're I guess the topic is hot, the thumbnail is hot. All right, Sandeepan has a question. They said, I really like to draw dynamic poses and poses in general, but couldn't get any inspiration lately and unable to find some kind of videos on fundamentals. What's the question? Wait, what? That wasn't even a question. Are you saying you're looking for videos? If so, this is it. This is the video you might be looking for. Yeah, that might be it. Okay. Somebody said, Kasem, do you do art critiques? Yo, come on, man. Do I do art critiques, chat? Do I do art critiques? Yes, I do art critiques, bro. Guys, if you want the art critiques, not only do I give you critiques, but I offer mentorship. No one in the internet is going to offer you professional mentorship at the price that I offer it, which is going to be at $10 a month. You guys can actually check out something called the After School Art Crew. If you type ASAC right now, join the Discord. You guys can get some info on that actually. But all right, let's get into it. All right, we're back here. So now that we've established the perspective, we've established the perspective for our character, where they're going to be, you'd be surprised, but the first thing I actually like to do is draw feet. What a shocker. Okay, I like to wait. Don't clip that. I see what I said. That's not what I meant to say. What I meant to say, chat, is we like to shit. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Wait. Pause. What I'm trying to say, chat. What I'm trying to say is, when I'm drawing a character like this in a pose like this, I think it's very important for me to make sure that I draw the feet first, because when you draw the feet first, it establishes where your character is standing in the pose. And so when I'm trying to draw something like this, I like to draw the feet first to make sure that I have the rest feeling good. All right. Yo, somebody on YouTube said freaky ass tutorial. Yo, come on, man. Come on, chat. Please. Thank you for the follow. Simply Zach. Come on, man. All right. So anyways, let's continue out here. All right. Let's continue. So what I like to do is I like to kind of establish where that's going to be. And then before we even get into all the crazy, perspective and stuff, I actually like to go in here and I like to just do a little bit of a loose gesture. I always find that, sometimes when people are doing these type of poses and they start off with that mannequin feel, that it often makes the character feel kind of stiff. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it loose. I'm just going to kind of find the rhythms, and then I'll show you guys what I'm doing to make sure we're accounting for certain things, like the anatomy and stuff. Because you might be saying, Kasem, hold on, gesture, like this is a crazy pose though. Like, how am I supposed to capture the gesture if I don't even know how to do this pose? Well, don't be afraid. All right, we got this. I'll show you guys some of the secrets that we're going to be doing here. But I really think that starting off with a nice gesture is going to be that first step to just making sure that your drawing is not going to be stiff. From here though, what you can do is we can kind of build some structure, right? So here though, we'll start with some gesture, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect at all. Thank you for the follow too, Petrushka1508. It seems like everyone's following me because they heard that I like to draw feet. That's some wild work. Okay, but let me just tell you guys before you keep following me. If it's your first time here, welcome in. My name is Kasem. I'm a professional character designer in the animation industry. This year I've opened up my own animation studio, and I'm just here to help you guys level up your skills. So if you are here, you like what you're seeing so far, make sure to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and leave a follow out here on Twitch if that's something you guys vibe with. But okay, going back here though, I'm keeping things loose, right? Keeping things loose with the gesture. And now what I'm gonna do is, when we have that gesture, you'll notice how I tried to approach it by looking at the three major kind of landmarks, right? We have the head, the torso, and then we have here the hips. Now, again, it doesn't have to be right. It doesn't have to be spot on, because we're going to go ahead and fix that now, right? So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the opacity. And at this stage, what I want to do is establish now the structure behind this. Now, normally when I am drawing these things, I don't do these steps. Usually I kind of just jump in, but I wanted to show you guys my thought process of how I do go about thinking of these things. So now that I have a loose gesture in mind, what I actually want to do is I want to pick out some of the structure here, and we're going to go in and maybe visualize it just a little bit more structurally as a form, right? Figure out these boxes and stuff. So boxes are going to be your best friend, all right? Best friend right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use the perspective grid now. See, this is where the perspective grid comes in handy, because when you can kind of go back in here, you can kind of see how I'm going to go in and I'm going to reference that perspective dot that we had. So that way, this right here, you can see, oh, all right, this box, this torso, you can actually see a lot of that top plane, or sorry, that bottom plane there, right? So we're going to go in there, put that there. And then similarly, now that I've done effectively the gestural part of all this, I can even go in here and I can say, all right, let's figure out now where the hips are going to be, right? And so the hips, I'm going to make them a little bit wider because for the female anatomy, they will have a wider ratio of hip to torso. But again, we'll save that for another day. And here, because the perspective is obviously, at the bottom here, but we don't have it exactly lined up. That's okay. I'm just going to go ahead and make some approximations. So here's a little, I guess, tip for you guys. For those of you who are learning perspective, when you have a perspective grid like this, the closer something is to the horizon line, the less of that plane, the top plane here, you will see. But the further down you go, the more of it that you will actually see, right? And so what that means is if you're drawing a character in this pose like this, the closer you get to the ground, the less of that bottom plane right here you're going to see as it starts to approach the horizon line. And you don't have to be exact about it. As long as you know this rule, as you get closer and closer here, you can start to change how much of certain things you're showing, right? Like here, I might only show a little bit of that cylinder shape. But hopefully that helps. Did that make sense, chat? I don't know if that made any sense. Do you want me to explain why it does that? Why it is that when something gets closer to the horizon line, it becomes less, what's it called? You see less of it? Repeat again? Oh my god, bro. Repeat again. I mean, if you want me to, if you need me to, I can repeat it again. It's an important topic to learn, but it is a difficult one. It's a difficult thing to kind of grasp, I think, on first understanding. Somebody asked me, K-Sam, speaking of feet, do you have videos of how to draw feet? I mean shoes? Because whenever I try, they end up looking weird. I do. I actually do. I think I only have one, if I'm being honest. I only have one tutorial on feet, so yeah, nothing too crazy. Do I have more? I might have more. But going back here, what I'm going to do now is as I'm kind of going in and I'm taking these gestures, right? These gestures that I've established. And as I'm moving closer and closer to the horizon line, this is where I'm actually changing. You can kind of see what I was saying earlier, but this is where I'm changing now how much of that plane I'm effectively showing, right? So a little bit less each time as we get closer down here. Let me read some of the stuff here for people. So is it more important to get the gist of the perspective, or should you really get down and use the grids? I think it depends on your style, right? There are some people who really enjoy the precision of perspective. And so because of that, they're going to follow the grid to a T. And there are some people who like to keep things loose and like to kind of freehand things a bit more. I'm somebody who personally enjoys the latter. I like to freehand a lot of the stuff that I'm doing, and I still keep the perspective in mind, obviously, because I think perspective is valuable, but it's, for me, not the most important thing to have it be exact. As long as it feels right, I think that is what is more important in my mind, right? I think the feeling of it looking like a certain thing is more of my goal. But at the same time, I'm very precise about my anatomy, right? And there's some people who are more loose about anatomy. So it's like a trade-off, right? It's like a trade-off on what it is that you want to be precise on and what you want to be more loose on overall. Somebody said, isn't it because the cross-section of the cylinder becomes parallel with the horizon line? Yes, that is actually it. That is exactly what is going on. As something moves closer to the horizon line, it effectively becomes more parallel to the horizon line. Actually, let me say that, because I think that might actually make it more clear for people. Okay, so let me explain that one more time, because I think that's a good way to explain it. Thank you, Case, for saying that. All right. So if you wanted to draw a character in this pose, something that's very important to understand is that when you're drawing your forms, you have to realize that as the forms move closer to the horizon line, which is going to be here at the bottom where the foot is, that the planes here will actually become less and less visible. And the reason why is because if you take the horizon line right here, right, and if you go and draw an object, the closer the object is to that horizon line, the more parallel it will be to the horizon line. And so when it goes further and further away, you're going to be seeing that opening up like this. And what'll happen is basically you'll be seeing more of it. But the way that you can kind of imagine it too is if you actually take a cylinder, right? And if you were to kind of just draw them out, the perspective like this, you'll kind of see how as it goes further down, look at how that shows more of that visibility to you, right? You see that? So it's a couple things. It's more parallel to the horizon line, but it's also like, it's tricky because technically it's all parallel. Technically it's all parallel to the horizon line, but at the same time, it's more also about how much of it is being distorted such that you're seeing it too. I don't know if that makes any sense. Sandeepan is asking that they're looking for beginner dynamic pose drawing inspiration and tutorials. Where can I find visual references and videos on core principles? This is it. This is it. We're literally breaking down the dynamic pose secrets right now. This guy's making a clip voice. We're clip farming today, guys. No shame. Thank you for the follow, Malise. Maizy. My bad, saying the name wrong. All right, but let's continue here. So let me just kind of speed up on this part. But again, this is something that eventually takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of practice. But once you kind of understand it and you see it, you'll eventually be able to kind of just do it intuitively. But it does take a little bit of practice, obviously. Like everything, everything does take a little bit of practice. So here I'm actually just going down, right? I'm drawing these basic forms to the point here now where we have the feet, and I'm just gonna kind of go in and draw it out as a nice basic shape. Doesn't have to be fancy at this stage. But I would like to think that as a beginner, maybe this is slightly more advanced, right? I'm not talking like beginner, you've never drawn a circle in your life. Because if that is the case, you probably want to start with maybe drawing some basic shapes first and drawing some basic boxes and stuff. But assuming that you're at least past that stage, I really do think that this is an exercise that anybody can get started with. Just imagining a little perspective grid, right? You can draw a little dot here like this. Boom, 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 boom. And then draw some boxes, right? Draw some boxes in space. There's some friendly tutorials on the internet as well, like draw a box is a good suggestion that I hear all the time. I've done it myself in the past. But I think getting into drawing boxes and getting into drawing basic shapes is actually, I think, the gateway into eventually drawing something like this, right? Where you can kind of see the forms. And again, this is not normally how I draw my characters. Usually I just kind of go in here, but I think it's good to visualize, again, what I'm thinking about. Now, there's a couple things that I am going to showcase here that's a little bit tricky. And as you get into drawing, you know, people like this, you also have to think about the angle of which they are, their forms are positioned. So what do I mean by that? So for example, right here, we have this arm, right? And you might think, Kasem, should I just draw this arm like this, right? Because the girl, we're looking at her. So doesn't that mean that the arm is just going towards us like this? But you have to think about it from the positioning of the girl. And so the best thing that I like to do whenever I'm drawing complex poses like this is I like to imagine myself actually doing this pose. So if I'm standing the way that the girl is standing with my hand in my pockets, you'll actually notice that my elbow, my arm goes outward. It goes back away from my front, right? And so whenever I'm drawing, I cannot draw the cylinder like this because the cylinder here implies that the arm is going forward. So I need to go and draw the cylinder going away from the torso. Does that make sense, chat? So this is kind of how I'm imagining it, right? Like when I'm looking at a character and I'm looking at how to draw the cylinder and the forms, I can't just look at the picture because the picture is not enough. I have to imagine what is actually happening in the pose and how I would do it or how I would be positioned, and then thinking about how the rest of the body is working in relation to that. Let me know if that makes any sense. Let me know if that doesn't make any sense, because then I can try to explain it in a slightly different way, but it's going to be a little bit more involved for me to explain it. Somebody wants to know if I can do how I normally would do it. Yeah, I would like to do it. If we have some time, maybe with another one of these poses, we could do a different type of angle and whatnot. I think that would be good. But yeah, I'm assuming nobody is saying anything. So I'm assuming you guys get this. I bring it up because you'd be surprised. I get this messed up all the time. It took me a long time when I was first starting out with drawing and stuff to realize how the forms were working three-dimensionally. And it took me a while to move away from just copying pictures, right? Copying references and really trying to sit down and understand what these references are actually doing, right? What the volumes and the forms are doing. And here's the thing, I might say this and you might be like, yeah, that makes sense, KSM. But until you do it yourself, right? Until you do it yourself, you would technically, you don't know the information. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that, right? Like, F's in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. You watch a tutorial video, you're learning something, and then the moment you try to do it yourself, you're like, oh shit, hold on. I actually don't know anything, right? You're like, oh yeah, okay, this is how this works. Oh, of course, that totally makes perfect sense, right? You grab your paper, you're like, huh? What the hell? So super understandable, but I think as long as you guys get the concept, I think hopefully you'll be okay. Now, from here, right, I like to just kind of fill out some of the forms, but already in my mind, this feels pretty visual, right? This gives me a good, firm understanding of the forms that we drew as a gesture. And then last but not least, let's make sure we draw the head. Now the head, I love to do it as a box, man. I don't know, people might say I'm obsessed with boxes, but I think drawing the head as a box is one of the best things. Because technically, if you can draw the head as a box like this, you can actually line up how all of the forms and perspective and proportions need to be. Because the eyes, the nose, and the mouth all line up relative to each other. You know, they're all there. So anyways, we have this, and this is the mannequin structure, right? And again, I feel pretty good about it. If it helps you guys at all, we can do contours as well. So contours can be a great way to visualize forms. Let me show you guys what I mean. If you take this form right here, this mannequin shape, it might be hard to visualize where all the forms are. So what I like to do is I like to kind of just wrap around, right? Wrap around some stuff here. And this is a good exercise for you if you want to also get better at drawing perspective, because it'll test your knowledge on how much you can really visualize how something is. So just take these cylinder forms that you're drawing and actually, you know, wrap some contour lines around them. Whoop, whoop, like that. So give it a try. Give it a try if that's something that you guys are having some difficulty with. Doesn't have to be perfect. Let's see here. How else would it work? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. It's a good question. All right. Okay. So now that we've done this though, now we get into the fun part, right? Because we take both of these gestures and stuff. We have the understanding of the form. We have the understanding of the gesture, right? But what we want to do is effectively a kind of a combination, right? We want something that has this volume and it feels right. This is just to kind of help us. But we also want it to feel flowy. We don't want it to feel stiff like the mannequin. We want it to feel nice. And so at this stage, this is probably the stage that I normally draw in. And this is going to be the one where I'm actually going in here and I'm drawing the person out a little bit more. And I'll draw them without any hair or any of that stuff, right? But let's kind of go in here now and let's take all this. But we've done effectively the hard work, which is, I think, understanding the form and understanding the volume of our character. So we're going in, we're going to go in there. And at this stage, this is where you can also start to push certain things too, because you don't have to follow the mannequin. And if anything, I would encourage you to move away from the mannequin. The mannequin really is just there as a visual, right? It's there to just help you see where things are relative in space. So this is usually a step that I don't even draw. I usually skip it, to be honest, because I think it takes up a lot of time and sometimes makes the drawing stiff. But that's not to say it's not valuable. It's just that you hit a point where you're like, okay, I get it, right? You see it in your head. And I think that's maybe the more important thing. But until you can start seeing those forms in your head, I would highly encourage anybody and everybody to go in there and draw it out. But here we're just gonna, you know, get in there and I'm gonna just do some organic shapes. Now at this stage, unfortunately, there's not much I can do in terms of teaching you guys the anatomy in a short amount of time. That is what my 30-day boot camp is for. So if you're watching this video, you haven't heard about, you know, my 30-day boot camp, I do have a free course on anatomy that is available. You guys can check that out. And that will go over a lot of the anatomical stuff. Today, I'll kind of gloss over it a little bit, unless you guys want me to talk about anatomy. I think it's okay. It's a different topic for a different day, right? So maybe we'll avoid it for now. But effectively, what I'm going in here now is I'm just applying a lot more of the organic shapes that I'm seeing, and I'm at this stage. I'm really just trying to see where some of the rhythms are. And sometimes at this stage too, if let's just say in this case, we might just want to keep the pose, but we don't care about the clothing. This is where learning anatomy can be helpful, because now you can go in and actually just, you know, take the parts that you need or want, and then you can, you know, change the clothes to something else. But what I will do is I will kind of go in here and I'll show you kind of like how I think about, you know, the rib cage, right? So here's that rib cage shape for the torso, and that's going to kind of wrap around there like an egg shape, and then that's going to kind of move all the way down. But for me, I think we can just go in and start applying now some of the clothing on top. Now, what I like about doing exercises like this is you can kind of see how already off the bat, how the clothing helps reinforce a lot of that structure that we were mentioning earlier on the stream, right? The forms and the hard work that we did. So here we can kind of go in here and just add some of that back in now. But notice now it makes more sense, right? We're not just like going in and just drawing whatever. We're actually going in and we're informed about how those things kind of intersect. And then here we'll have that belt as well. So that belt is kind of going in there, and it's at an angle that matches the angle of the character, right? Here we're going to add some extra volume for the hips, just kind of connecting the two there. And I think what we can do, so maybe we won't talk about anatomy, but we can talk about clothing, because I think clothing might be a challenge, right? F's in the chat if you guys find clothing difficult, especially if you're drawing clothing maybe in this pose. This is probably where it's the hardest, right? Like clothing just on a regular pose is hard. Clothing on a character like this, where they're straight up in a different angle, is even tougher. Okay, that's a lot of, wow, actually a lot more F's than I expected. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about clothing here. So clothing is fun because clothing really is all about tension.
180-second ad break shortly. Thanks for supporting the stream.
So clothing is all about tension. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just try to find where the tension points are on the clothing of this character. Let's just say her pants, right? So here we have some tension on the seams. And so for this section right here, everything just needs to flow. Here, I'll do it on a new layer. Everything kind of just needs to flow to this tension point, right? So we have here, for example, this leg, it's wrapping around. Why is it wrapping around instead of just being a straight line? Because this leg is slightly more forward and it's cylindrical. Now this leg though, it's popping out. So what ends up happening is it creates tension on this end of the pants. And so you're effectively seeing these lines pulling away from that section, right? And you can actually, yo, all right, we back. Okay, so clothing. So let me share with you guys the secrets of clothing, okay? So clothing is all about understanding tension. And if you know where tension is, you will know where the folds are. So for example, in this drawing right here, the tension is going to be deriving from the seam of the center of the pants, as well as the outer portion here of the legs, right? And so when you have, for example, these pants and the character's pants are flowing, you have this leg moving a little bit more forward in space. And so because of that, it's creating tension right here. And so that will flow into the center of the pants. This leg, on the other hand, is a little bit more rested. And so instead, the flow is going to go in the opposite direction as it kind of flows down there, and it's a little bit more rested. And so when you start to think about these things, all of it really just comes down to tension. So for example, right here, the knees are here. Also, that'll create some tension as well, right? So really, when it comes down to it, the perspective doesn't matter. As long as you understand the forms underneath, and as long as you understand where the tension is, you can basically draw whatever clothing folds you want, right? Um, let me read some messages real quick. I'm a little curious. Do you have pen stabilization correction weight on your program, and how much? I noticed that I ramp it up pretty high. I have none, so I don't have any. I don't have any stabilization really. I think what it is I try to just keep my hands loose. You know, that's kind of what I try to do. To be honest, keep my hands loose and keep it moving. Kasem, how long is this stream going to be on for your channel? This one should stay on my channel because there shouldn't be any copyright issues. Hopefully, unless we start watching some React content again. But yeah, that's kind of really it. I make it sound easy, but obviously it takes a bit of practice, and you kind of have to build that intuition. Some things that you have to kind of figure out too is like how thick is the material, right? How loose is that material on the body? Because now, as you can kind of see, I'm going in here and I'm just gonna, I'll draw her pants on a separate layer, but I'm just keeping everything loose. But I know that her pants here are pretty baggy, right? So when the form is twisting because her leg is kind of going back into space there, you're actually going to see a couple other things happen, right? Like notice how there's a fold right here. That one is a fold that's being created because the pants are just kind of folding into itself. But otherwise, the main folds, the main lines are the ones that I cared about, which was this one right here going in. And then everything else is just nice and loose forms that you can kind of just scribble it if you really want to. I'm sure a lot of you have seen artists do that. That's really it for clothing. Now here we do create some tension because her hand is in her pocket. So that is going to also go in there. It's going to add a little bit of a bulge. But yeah, you see how we keep it loose, you know? Keep it loose overall. And I think I'll merge everything here. But yeah, now that we have this is usually my first step, right? Whenever I'm drawing, this is probably what I like to do because I've already kind of imagined some of the forms. And so next I go in here and I just kind of go whoop, whoop, whoop. Just kind of drawing out a lot of the character, a lot of the details that we already have, and then keeping a lot of that sketch design loose. Because in my mind, what's important is, again, it's less the forms, but it's like going back to that gesture and how do we still keep that gesture going, right? How do we keep that gesture feeling nice? And you can see here, as long as we're hitting that gesture, that to me is a good sign. The forms themselves follow suit. But okay, now, I mean, at this stage, really, we've done a lot of the core details. So if you guys are interested, I can take this one a little bit further and actually clean it up. But let me know in the chat if you would like me to do that, just to kind of show you what that might look like, to maybe just make it look a little bit nicer. Maybe not like fully drawn, but you know, just enough. Or if you guys would like me to do a different example, because we can do a different example as well. There's a lot of good choices here on today's exercise. Yeah, there's let's see. Yeah, let me know in the chat what you guys are feeling. I will do this though. I will kind of go in here and I will just I'll work on her face actually. Always hiding the hands. That was not my choice. That was her choice. I think we can talk about the face a little bit. The face obviously is a challenge because the character is looking down at us. So I'm just gonna go in there. Boom. Let's see. I just got back watching you back, KSM. You got a new tab? Oh, a new tablet? Yeah, we got a new tablet. This one is the XP. Nope, it's not. No, it's not. This one is the this one is the Huion tablet. The Huion 24-inch Pro, I think. I don't remember. How to approach the hair. Someone's asking about the hair. We can do that. We can talk about the hair. Oh, something to keep in mind too is when you're drawing this, right? Don't forget that the character has a jaw here. Right? The jaw is important. So they do have that. So there's the underside there that you kind of have to account for. But we can draw the hair. The hair is actually, I like to kind of break hair up into just major sections. So right here, for example, we have this chunk of hair, right? So that hair is flowing, and I'm not really going to use the reference too much. I'm going to take the energy of the reference, and I'm just going to kind of figure it out myself. And then what I'll do is I'll let some of the details, you know, just kind of flow out. Just on a separate layer? Okay, good. Let's see. Somebody said, hey, Kay, I know you use your tablet on 45, but how tall do you leave your tablet? The height of your elbow? Oh, I mean, my elbow is resting. My elbow is actually resting on my chair for most of the time. So yeah, we kind of just let it rest on my chair a bit. Okay. And then I think at this stage, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just let everything else look messy, but I'm going to just fix the head portion. And I think that should be good. So here we're going to lower it one more time, and I will just draw the face out a bit better. And that's it. That's really, I think, the process, you know. The process of all of this really just comes down to breaking it down into those major steps, right? The steps where you are focusing on the gesture first, or I guess focusing on the perspective first, then focusing on gesture next, then from gesture going in and focusing on form, and then anatomy afterwards. But that obviously will take a little bit of time to practice. That part takes a little bit more, right? It's a little bit more challenging. So let's see. I can draw hands alone as of now, but drawing them with my character feels awkward as of now. I'm going to work on perspective for hands. Yeah. Hands, I mean, hands are tough. I always tell people, I think there's no shame in struggling with drawing hands. Like I think hands are, I would again argue, one of the most challenging parts of drawing. So if you struggle with it, no shame. All right, we're just gonna. Yeah, I mean, at this stage too is when you can really just try to, you know, change your style, right? I think we didn't talk about style too much. We mostly talked about just kind of emulating the reference a little bit, right? Copying that reference. But obviously you can go ahead and change the style to be whatever you want. So here, if I wanted to make it more of like an anime style, I might taper her jaw a bit, and I might actually center her face a little bit more so that it's a bit more like in line with you know, the proportions and stuff of the character. So we can go ahead and do that right now as well. Hey, thanks for continuing the gift sub as well. How do you draw low angle without the guide? I got wrong even after I use the perspective blocks. Low angle? What do you mean by low angle? Like the opposite of this one where we're looking down at somebody, or this, or because this is low angle. I think this is low angle. But maybe you had a different idea in mind. Yo, look, bro, why is Lindy aura farming? Lindy came out here and was like, remember guys, remember how long I've been following you for. All right, let me play some music on this part, because this part is more of the chill part of this stream. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do a quick cleanup, and then I think we can probably close out this little workshop thing, and then we can do everything else. We can do everything else today on stream. Like what? We'll see. We'll see. I wanted to share some plans I wanted to do for Wednesday stream, because we're going to do another IRL. Let's see. Kasem, I'm like your furniture of the stream. You're just there? I guess so. Is Appa's tongue on the floor? No. Is that what it looks like? No, no. His tongue is in his mouth. Can you zoom in? Yeah, we can zoom in. Let me see. You guys want to zoom in on my Doge? Why is it so zoomed out, actually? That's a good question. There you go. If the horizon line was high above, how would you approach that? Also, how do you generally control the eye movement while making a character? It'd be the same process, if I'm being honest. Hey, how's it going? Cuervo Arcioris. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Kasem walks them before stream. Yes, I walk them a lot before every stream. You go on a nice juicy walk. Are you an animator? And if yes, why don't you teach how to animate instead? I've animated professionally, yes. I don't think I'm as good of an animator as I am a character designer. So, and I think I've told this story before, but I don't think I'm classically trained as an animator. I think I'm more of a scammer, I think. Personally. I don't know how I've done it, but I have drawn professionally in the industry. I just don't think I don't know. I don't think I'm the best at it. And so So yeah, that's really it. I think I'm a scammer. I think I somehow managed to animate in the industry. Am I classically trained as a character designer? I think so. I actually know the fundamentals of character design much better than I do the fundamentals of animation. I wanted this drawing to feel like when she's looking at you, she thinks you're a worm. You know? That's kind of the vibe I want. Did you learn the basic animation fundamentals or you went straight into action scenes? I think I went straight into action scenes. Like I've never done stuff like the bean exercises or the pillow exercises. Never did any of that stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what I mean when I say like I'm not traditionally trained in that sense, because there are a lot of artists who, you know, when they learn animation, there's a couple things that you should be practicing and doing. I did not do any of those things. I just I happen to just have good fundamentals, and I happen to know how to draw characters well and draw them on model, which is I think is important. And so the studio saw that and they said, "Hey, can you animate this stuff for us?" And I said, "Sure. Give me the boards, give me the basic stuff, and I will do it." But I don't actually animate from the basic. I'm more, if you gave me like a very rough sketch, I would take it to clean. So I'm like a cleanup animator is what they would call me, because I would take the rough boards and I can then, you know, but I know how to do some animation. Yeah. Not even the ball exercise. No, but I mean, I know it, right? I know the ball exercise. Yeah. Nice. Let's see. Oh, the tablet? What's my tablet? This one is the XP Pen. I keep saying that. Oh my god, bro. I'm XP Pen brainwashed. No, this one's the Huion. I just don't have a command for it. Dang, at least you admit it, unlike others out here on YouTube. That's why I enjoy your content. Yeah, like I can tell you people, like, yes, I have animated professionally. I have animations that have aired, and I can show it, and but I can technically make an animation reel, but I don't like to call myself really an animator, because I think I don't know. I just personally, I don't even like animating too much. There are people who love it, who live and breathe it, and that's just not me. I love character stuff. I love character design. I love character illustrations. Animation's just too tough for me. Too tough for my little baby brain to handle. So the real secret, though, to this, guys, is if you want to get really good at drawing characters and poses, Honestly, you can draw everything shitty as long as you draw the face good. That's it. Just draw the face good and everything else will be okay. You know? And then if the rest of your drawing is bad, just crop it so you only ever show the face. Easy. Easy. Somebody said, what is Appa's magic words? Like the thing that will get him to get up? Watch this. Watch this. Oh, do you guys want to go on a walk? Damn, he's knocked out. Hold on. Try that again. You want to go on a walk? Oh, he has two other words. Okay. Alrighty. Oh my god, bro, he's knocked out. Do you want a treat? Appa. Appa. He's so knocked out. Nah, he's awake. Hey, buddy. Oh, man. He's chilling. Here, let's say hi to him, actually. Now that we're bothering him. Hey, bud. I took him on a run this morning. Hey, dude. I'm sleepy, huh? Yeah, he's a sleepy dude. I've been running 3 miles almost every day. And yeah, he's he's like, wait, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up for the run. And I'm like, you kind of did. You kind of did, buddy. Sorry. But yeah, that's my boy. That's Appa. Amy's the more crazy one, but she also sleeps too. Let's see. Yeah, and if you're curious what he's named, like what the origin of his name is, I think most of you already know, but if you don't know, it's a character from Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's Appa, a sky bison. Is all your dogs having A names for a reason? Yes, because it's Akita. The Akita starts with the letter A, so it's just alliteration. I'm very specific about it, yeah. Yeah. Have you ever ran a marathon race before? No, but I used to do track and field. I used to be a varsity track and field runner back when I was zooming. But I was a sprinter. I was actually a sprinter back then. So not really doing miles as much, but I was fast. I was a fast dude.
Kasem will be running a 180-second ad break shortly. Thanks for supporting the stream.
So the thing is, I could probably spend the whole stream, I could probably spend the whole stream just drawing this girl, realistically. But that's not the purpose of today's stream. So we're chilling today. I just wanted to get this one nice and cleaned up though for the YouTube video, so that way people can kind of see, see what we're doing out here. What happened to your sprinting track dream? Well, Usain Bolt happened. I realized the limitations of my own genetics. I don't know. I was fast, but I was definitely not Olympic level fast. Maybe I would say I was fast for a Filipino guy. But yeah, man, I used to be a Zoomer. I used to be a Speedy Gonzalez. I was fast out there. Not anymore. I'm not what I used to be. I've got an old chat. I will say this. I think if I trained enough, like if I got back into it, I think I could beat ISO speed on a 400 meter race. I think so. I think I could do it. Honestly speaking. I'm not even trolling right now. I think I could probably beat ISO speed on a 400 meter. 100 probably not. I think he would crush me on a 100 meter because he's that fast. But on a 400, I could do it. I'd have to train again. Obviously, it would require me to get back in on the grind, on the training grind. ISO speed collab when? We got to get bigger as a community. That's really it. When we get big enough where I can call them out, that's how you know. That's how you know where we can do it. What's your 400 meter time? Man, my best time, I think, honestly, probably wasn't even that good. Was 53 seconds was my 400 meter time, which is pretty good, but it's not like Olympic. Like Olympic is basically you got to be what is it? You got to be at least 45 to be in the Olympics. So I'd get dusted in the Olympics. But I feel like 400 meters, 53 seconds, pretty good. If I train a bit more, I can maybe cut it down a second to 52. 52 seconds. Conditions are good. If the wind is nice, maybe 51 seconds. Zooming out here. Hold on, let me adjust my dog camera. There you go. You've seen incredibly healthy people lose to this ridiculously athletic man. Yeah, for sure. I mean, speed is true to his name, right? He's definitely a fast one. For sure. But I think he's like fast and a slow speed. I haven't seen him run a long race. That's why I feel like if it came down to it and we were doing a 400 meter, I feel like I might have the advantage there. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, Appa's slow. Unfortunately, he's a slow dude, but he's fast. He's not fast. He's strong, man. He's like 90 pounds. 90 pounds of muscle. Yeah. 90 pounds of just raw strength. But I think what I'll do, guys, is I'll leave it here because I think if I spend any more time on this, at this point, this is going to be the drawing for the whole stream. You know? I feel like that's going to be the whole stream. So let me do a quick YouTube outro for the, just for like the stream video and stuff. So let's do that. All right. Really quick. Let's do... All right, so just to recap, if you guys want to draw poses like this, all right, difficult perspective poses, the first step I always like to tell people is to make sure you get here first, a good understanding of the perspective. So a nice perspective grid could be helpful. Then from there, what you want to do is get that gesture in there, keep it nice and loose. And then after the gesture is when you want to start thinking about basic forms, right? That's when you want to start thinking about volume and how all those things wrap around in perspective, eventually getting yourself into something like this where you have a nice loose sketch. And then if you really want to, you can clean it up afterwards to have it look like this. But hopefully that helps, and make sure to like and subscribe if you're watching from YouTube. Peace. There it is. That's the video. That's the video. Boom, baby. Yeah, no, I like actually doing practices like this because I feel like this is the type of exercises that eventually, like, I want to be able to draw, right? I want to be able to draw like this a bunch more. You can kind of see how, yeah, it takes a little bit from that rough face we did to this face. We got there. We got there. She looks great. She is looking good. Looking good. But yeah, I think from here we can do another pose practice. And yeah, I'm mostly just trying to get these poses to feel good because I want to I effectively want to do some fun dynamic poses for, you know, for Adon and for Reina and for Kai. I don't want to just draw them as a basic pose. I feel like lately I've been trying to challenge myself more, where I say, like, if I'm going to go ahead and draw a character, you know, like a special pose, especially for something like the traditional drawings that we're going to have, I want to challenge myself, right? I want every opportunity to be an opportunity to grow as an artist. I'm not here to just keep doing the same stuff over and over again. So that's why even this one, normally I don't do as much tutorial-y stuff on my live streams like this anymore, but I really feel like this was something that I wanted to genuinely practice. This wasn't just like another head anatomy tutorial video, right? This one was like, all right, I want to do this for myself, and so I might as well do it with you guys. Because, how many of you in the chat, you know, want to get good at doing stuff like this, right? One's in the chat if you're like, hey, Sam, I want to be able to draw cool poses for my characters. I want to be able to, you know, put them in perspective and give them expressions and all that, right? Like, I think it's it's a pretty reasonable thing to want, right? I don't know. I think it's cool. This is my dream, and I don't really get to do this too much. I'll be real with you guys. As a character designer, oftentimes you're drawing characters in a very specific angle. You're drawing them mostly like this, right? And even this is a little bit more than the average character design. Like normally you wouldn't even have to turn this in like this with the character posing, unless they're like maybe a main character, right? Then you would really pose them the way that we're posing them. This guy right here. But for the most part, yeah, usually turnarounds are pretty simple, pretty standard. And so as a character designer, sometimes it feels very repetitive, right? Like it feels very repetitive, I think, to just kind of go in and just keep drawing the same angles, the same perspective. And so I want to be able to do more stuff like this on my free time, where it's just like fun posing, but it's clearly challenging, right? It's like makes your head hurt a little bit. I will say too, we got it easy on this pose, chat. I think I understand now why you guys voted for this one. I know the reason. It's because you guys didn't want to draw hands. Yo, tell me that's not it. I know that's why you guys voted for this girl. You saw it and you said, ooh, no hands on this one, K-Sam. That's the one we're going to do together. Which, by the way, if you guys didn't know, if you join the Discord channel, you can actually grab today's worksheet, which is this one, if you want to follow along with the exercises. This sheet will only be available while I'm live. So if you're watching this video, you're hearing me say this, grab it now, okay? Because this is available now on the Discord. If you wait, this will not be here. By the time this stream is done, this will not be here, chat. So make sure to grab that link, go join the Discord channel, and go to the art resources section. That is where you're going to find this one. I kid you not, people have come and messaged me almost every stream. They said, K-Sam, I heard you got free resources. Only while I'm live, guys. Only while I'm live. And that is right now. So go ahead, grab it, follow along on today's stream, and show me what you've done. Post it on the Discord. If you're not afraid, you know, if you're not afraid of showing what you've done, which hopefully no one here should, because in this community, I try to make it a welcoming one, right? So like, hopefully no one should feel ashamed about what they've drawn, but post it. I want to see what you guys have cooked up, right? If you had any challenges, maybe we'll do some feedback today. Shoot. You know, it's been a minute since I've done some on-stream critiques. I remember we used to do those like once a month because, you know, we would have challenges and we would have, you know, drawing stuff. Maybe we can bring that back. I do like reviewing art from the community, and that's kind of what I liked about the Ground Zero challenge, was I get to give feedback on it. But yeah, maybe we could do something like that, where if you guys want to post some of the stuff you drew, we could do it. K-Sam, where are the free resources from the video I watched a year ago? They're on the Gumroad. Either on the Gumroad or they're in the After School Art Crew. Thank you, paid actor, for promoting those things. Yeah, you can post them in the ArtShare channel. That would be great, actually. I want to see what you guys did, you know? Let's see what people are doing, man. Show some of the community's work. Damn. All right, well, since we've finished up the video and stuff, we can talk about what we're doing this week. I got some updates for ya guys. All right. Let's see here. So first things first. Also, thank you for the follow earlier. And no Duvita, appreciate the follow out here. Welcome to the K-Sam crew. I'd love to know how everybody who's joining in today, how'd you guys end up here? Was it from my YouTube videos? Was it from this stream? You just found me randomly? Was it from, trying to think what else it could be from. Instagram. It could be from Instagram. We actually get a few people come in from Instagram because they follow me from the reels and all that stuff. And so they're like, oh, I didn't know you stream, you know? TikTok, ain't no way. Stop it. You did not follow me from TikTok. Actually, I think we're still live on TikTok right now. I'm actually so curious to see. I'm so curious to see if anybody's watching me from TikTok right now as we speak. How many viewers, guys? Put the number in the chat. Let's just take a guess. Little funsies right now. Dude, I don't even have TikTok installed on my phone. 1,000 viewers on TikTok? I doubt it. I 100% doubt it. TikTok.com. Here we go. We're going to go in the wild world of TikTok. What the hell is this, bro? What the hell is this? I'm so scared. I'm so scared of TikTok, bro. Where does it show the live stuff? How do I see my live TikTok?
YouTube. Carter with the follow on TikTok. Thank you, dude. I have 125 crown wins, dude. You're almost there more than me, Daniela. Good shit.
What the heck? Does anyone know how the hell TikTok works, bro? I think if I type my name, maybe ksem __ or ksem1 _. Am I live? Wait, it said it ended. Wait, I had 300 viewers. Wait, is the stream over? Oh shit! No, I'm here. I'm here. I'm like, what? I had 311 viewers. Ah, shit. Wait, that's a lot of viewers. There's no way that's right. What? Wait, do I actually have a lot of viewers on TikTok? And I've just been neglecting 300 people? Uh-oh. That can't be right. That can't be right, chat. It does tell you if you're inactives, you have to stay. You have to say, hey, I'm here thing. Oh. Do I have to do that, really? Stop. TikTok said you're done? I'm not done, bro. I'm here. I'm here. I'm alive. I swear. Oh my God. Wait, do you mean to tell me I've just not been streaming on TikTok this whole time, chat? Let me know. Let me know. Oh, shit. What? This is a revelation. Really? Hold on. We need to check this. Oh my gosh, bro. What the heck? Let me check, man. Let me check. There's no way. Streaming is not allowed. Oh, I got kicked out. I got kicked off of TikTok. Did I get banned? Hold on. It says I got approved. Hold on. Okay, I just reapplied. I just reapplied, so what the heck? Let me know. Let me know. I think I'm cooked. What about vertical viewers? We got vertical viewers here on YouTube Vertical at least? Hey, are there any vertical viewers? It's probably because of the music last stream, huh? Damn, it's because we played Jesse McCartney. I'd like to be what you always needed. Part of me. I don't want another pretty face. I don't want just anyone to hold. I don't want my love to go to waste. I want you and you're beautiful. So you're the one I want to take. You're the one I want to hold. Jesse McCartney, bring us back. You're the one I want to take. And we're back. You're beautiful song. And we're back. You're beautiful song. All right, we're back. We're back. We're back. All right, we're back. Baby, won't you turn them lights down low? All right, we're back. Baby, won't you turn them lights down low? Okay. All right, we did it. We're back. TikTok live, y'all were starving. But we're back. We fixed it. My apologies. I think we got banned. I think we got kicked out last stream. Good thing we randomly checked today, dude. I would have never known. What the heck? But we had over 300 viewers at one point, I guess. All right, TikTok, we're back. Welcome in my TikTok viewers out here. We up, baby. All right, so hold on. I wanted to talk about what we're going to be doing for Wednesday's stream. So let me know, guys, because we got to brainstorm some ideas together. Here's what I'm thinking, okay? Wednesday's stream, I wanted to go take you guys on an art store loot. We're going to go loot an art store. Well, hold on, not like that, but we're going to go to one of my favorite art stores in Los Angeles. We're going to go draw them. We're going to go buy some traditional art supplies, but I also wanted to do a challenge with you guys. All right. I need a name for this challenge because I think the name I came up with is kind of sus. I came up with a sus name, and so I need to get some better naming ideas. Okay. So hold on. I need to like fix this though, because my mic is tweaking. It's like limp. Why is it so limp? Stop being limp, bro. Okay, so the title of the stream idea I had is basically, I draw 5 strangers before they spot me. Now, originally the name of the title was even more sus. It was actually, I draw 5 strangers before I get caught. But that seemed too wild. But the premise is this, okay? Here's the premise. So basically, you know how we go on IRLs and we draw, right? We draw people, we draw stuff we see, but we added a little bit of a twist on it, okay? I have to draw 5 people, but every time I draw a person, I have to be closer and closer. So the first time I draw somebody, they can be maybe like 15, 20 meters away. Then the next person, they got to be like 15 meters away. Then the third person has to be like 10 meters away. Then the fourth person has to be like, you know, maybe like 5 meters away. But then the fifth person, I basically got to be like right next to them. And the challenge is, can I draw them without them noticing me drawing them? Oh shoot, dude, that's gonna be a tough challenge, but we need some names. Can we get some title ideas for this? Because I'm not gonna lie, I think drawing 5 strangers without them spotting me sounds wildly sus, bro. I think it sounds crazy. Can we get some name suggestions? Stalking? Okay, I stalk 5 strangers. Okay, that's kind of, oh, come on. YouTube audience, my YouTube chat, this is your time to shine. You guys are the best you guys are YouTube frogs. You guys watch YouTube videos all the time. So you got to tell me what kind of title, or what kind of title are we cooking up here, man? Undercover portraits? Wait, that's kind of fire. Kind of sus too, but also kind of fire. Getting arrested speedrun. 5 drawings under the radar. Ooh, okay. Hold on. Okay, maybe it's not bad. 5 drawings under the radar. I see the potential in that one. Sneaky strangers sketching. Ain't nobody clicking that, bro. What is that? What is that? That sounds sus. You need to wear sunglasses and bring a cane so they think you're blind. Oh, true. What if I go incognito as an old guy? Okay. Excuse me, do you see that man about 10 meters behind me staring at me and writing something down? Should I be concerned? Should I call the cops? Secretly making backshots of people? Yo, what are these ideas? I need the YouTube chat. YouTube chat, you're here, right? Give me some ideas, man. You got to give me some ideas, YouTube chat. The time I drew 5 strangers and got arrested? Nah, bro, we're not getting arrested. What are you talking about? Yo, hey, don't put that out there into the world. No, we're not trying to do anything crazy here. We're just drawing people. Hopefully, if they approach us though, I think if we give them the drawing and if they want it, great, then we're safe. And if they don't want it, good thing I run. Good thing I could Speedy Gonzalez out of there. Secretly drawing strangers for views. It's not for views. Okay, it's for the culture. It's for the culture, bro. You gotta give them stuff like this, chat. Look. Oh, let me show you guys. So I bought the cards, right? The blank cards that we're gonna be drawing on for the ground zero stuff. But I also bought double-sided sleeves. So that way I can give it to people. Boom. Boom. Ain't that nice, bro? Okay, somebody gave me a title on YouTube. What did they say? They said, visiting a police station speed run. Okay. So funny, bro. So funny. Yo, come on. Give me some real titles, chat. Stop trolling me right now. I need some real good titles. I don't know if drawing 5 strangers before they spot me is enough, man. I don't think it's enough. You can't get arrested for that, bro. You can't get arrested for drawing somebody. That would be insane. There's no way. There's no way. Can you? If I'm being weird about it, yeah, probably. There's going to be the Yowie Hat Prize debacle all over again. That was a banger stream. And you got to admit it. That was a banger stream. I actually edited. Let me show you guys. I was trying to do some edits for it. Because I wanted to turn one of them into a YouTube short. Let me show you guys my edits if my PC doesn't crash on me right now. Rodney Andrews on YouTube said 5 strangers, 1 sketchbook. Well, what if we use the word sketch? What if we use the word sketch like, let me see. Sketchy artist draws 5 strangers. Maybe not. Question mark. Sketching but not being sketchy. Sketching 5 strangers without being sketchy. Seems too much. It's too much sketch. But let me play this video for you guys. Look at this. Look at this edit that I did. I still need to work on it though. Oh, if there's any editors out here, anybody who wants to help me make YouTube shorts, let me know. Let me know if that's something you guys are into. But let me play this. I'm gonna ask between both of you, who's like your favorite character?
Dodara.
Really?
Yeah.
So if I asked you right now to draw him from memory in 1 minute with me, could you do it?
I'll try.
Oh, okay,
I'll try.
All right, bet.
I'll try. Oh no! Oh no! That is not the Dora, yo.
Oh, yo! I think we're both cooked. All right, you want to show yours first?
Yeah, ready. I'm confident. I'm confident.
Woo. Show it to the cam. Show it to the cam.
I won. Look at that. I won. Look at that.
Yeah. Okay. I see the vision. Yeah. All right.
Oof.
All right. Ready? Oof. Ooh.
No, it's nothing. It's nothing. Mine's better. Like, look. Come on now.
Which one do you think? Yeah. Which one do you think really helped you out?
Which one? It's a.
Hey. Yeah. I was trying to find a way to edit this whole segment. I think that was pretty good. I think that was pretty solid, right? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Not bad? Not right one, obviously. Okay. You need to stop. You need to stop, Jay. I'm about it. All the J names in the chat are tweaking today. What are you talking about, bro? What do you mean the right one? You feel like you could edit that into a fire clip? Could you actually? Could you actually? I'm looking for editors. I'm looking for editors out here. If you guys are interested, we're looking, man. We got a lot of stuff we want to cook. Here's the thing. Right now, you guys know about the IRLs, right? You guys know the community here on Twitch and on YouTube Vertical or YouTube Live. You guys know about the IRLs, but my YouTube audience, the bigger YouTube audience, they don't know about the IRLs. So I kind of want to make videos about it so that way people, you know, they come, they know. Because I really want to do more IRL stuff with you guys. I think IRLs is like one of the most fun things that I've introduced to the streams. And we got a lot of things planned. There's a lot of IRLs planned. Put me in, coach? Really? Okay, message me on Discord. We might do some, we'll do some trials. I'll send some stuff out for you guys. Shira, JJ Master said it. Okay. All right, here we got some title ideas though. Back to the title ideas. 5 strangers, 1 sketchbook. Stealthy sketches drawing strangers until I'm noticed. That's so long, bro. What is this? Detective Kasem sketching 5 strangers. That's also long. The introverted artist sketching people before they see me. Let me think. I think what we need, guys, is we need like... We need, let me think here. What's the premise? So the premise here is we're drawing 5 people. It's a challenge, and the challenge gets harder. It's about drawing. Can they spot me? Sketchy sketching is on the nose. I think it's too on the nose. Secretly making portraits of people and making their day better. What about this? What about this? Drawing 5 strangers, but it's not weird. Yo, come on. Too long? Are you trolling? That's too long. Drawing 5 strangers, but it's not weird? That's too long? That's kind of a fire one. Hold on, let me write that down. Hold on, let me type that. Drawing 5 strangers, but it's not weird. But it's not weird. That's such a short title, bro. Why does this sound like a shitty anime title?
180-second ad break shortly. Thanks for supporting the stream.
He said it's too long. Drawing 5 strangers, parentheses, not sus. Ask ChatGPT. We could, technically. Sketching 5 strangers and seeing their reactions. Okay, I think the reaction's a given, though. So I feel like that's a little too obvious, you know, if you put that in the title. I kind of dig the, actually, drawing 5 strangers like a French girl. Oh, shoot. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. Saying something isn't weird makes it weird. Maybe that's the point. Yo, how's it going, Juan? Okay, drawing 5 strangers challenge. Not sus. Maybe. Maybe. Sketching public suspects. I had another idea. This one is definitely going to get me canceled. But I had an idea where we try to draw 5 strangers. Well, we back. Thank you for sticking around for the ad breaks, guys. As you guys may or may not know, the ad breaks do help me out tremendously. It's one of the easiest ways to support the streams because those ads do, you know, they do support the stream out here. And if you guys want to support the stream in another super easy way and you're watching from Twitch, you might actually have something called Twitch Prime. Twitch Prime! All you got to do right now is click subscribe on Twitch. And if you are using Amazon Prime, that means you also have Twitch Prime, which means you can subscribe to me completely for free. Some of you might not even know you have it. Check right now. Some of you already, you might know you have it. Check anyways, because if you do have it and you haven't used it yet, obviously, I would appreciate it, but you would also get the perks of being a subscriber. You'll get the badge, you'll get the emotes, you'll get to experience all that cool stuff, and you'll also get access to private videos from my Discord channel for the tutorials and stuff. So make sure, guys, you take a look. Check right now. You never know. You never know. You might legit have it. See it right now. Tell me right now, guys. Take a look. Let's see. But anyways, thank you. Let me tell you guys the idea. I had another crazy idea, but I knew this idea was gonna get me canceled ASAP on the internet. So the idea that I had was we draw 5 strangers, and together, you and I, we would try to figure out if we can see like who this person is, like what their occupation is, right? But then I realized, wait, bro, that might be racial profiling, low key. I don't know, man. I don't want to approach somebody and be like, hey, I drew you. By the way, you play basketball, right? You were a hooper, right? Oh, shit. They're going to be like, why? Because my chat said so. Yeah, so I was like, okay, let's probably not do that idea. Let's avoid that one maybe, because that's a little spicy. Thank you for the prime subs, Sullivan. I knew somebody had it. Yeah, we're gonna approach somebody. I just had to say, I think you probably do math. You know, you're good at math, right? I was gonna say you do math. You do math. You do drugs. You look like you probably sell drugs. Did I get it right? Did I try you? Oh shit. So I was like, okay, maybe not that idea. Maybe not that idea. We cut that one off the chopping block real quick. Let's see here. Okay, we got a YouTube suggestion. It's gonna be paper, right? Call it 5 strange pages of sketches. The way it sounds less creepy for YouTube. Oh yeah, I mean that sounds not bad. That sounds not bad. 5 strange sketches. Yeah, I don't know if it's enough though. I don't know if it's like exciting enough. We need something that like when people see it, they're gonna want to click on it, you know? Do you know what's funny though? If you were to nail it on the spot on the first go, you could probably make it into an interesting video. Yeah, if I don't get arrested first or assaulted. Nah, I think we gotta move away from that idea, chat. I think that's a crazy idea. Yeah, some ideas maybe should stay in our heads. Stranger sketches like Stranger Things. Okay, not bad. Introverts, hidden talent, sneak sketching strangers. What if we do like a Gen Z title? You know what I'm talking about? Like the Gen Z YouTube video ideas where they're like, Skibbity Riz drew 5 people on God. I don't know. That sounds kind of stupid actually, now that I said it out loud. Maybe not. Drawing quest stealth mode. That is so last month of you. Okay. Okay, Zoomer. Let's see. Well, yeah, what are some titles, man? I think my title was fine. Drawing. What was it again? What did I say? I said drawing 5 strangers, but it's not weird. Is that too long? Rizzing strangers till they mog me. There you go. That's very Gen Z. Draw rizzing strangers till they mog me. Drawing 5 strangers until I get sued. Yeah. Cameraman. Do you want me to tell you cameraman's idea? I'm gonna tell you because cameraman's crazy, bro. Cameraman had a wild idea the other day. He said, Kasem, bro, I got a good idea. I was like, all right, what's the idea, bro? Tell it to me. Tell it to me. He said, what if we go to Los Angeles and you ask people. Nah, I can't even say this idea, bro. This idea is actually gonna get him canceled. No, I'm not gonna say this idea. Oh man, he had some out of pocket ideas. I said, bro, I'm gonna be the Johnny Somali of the art streaming world if I did this idea. I'm not even gonna say it. He's canceled already. All right. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say his idea, okay? He said, Kasem, what if we do a stream where we help the homeless? I said, all right. Okay. Okay. Well, what's the idea here? He said, what if you go to people and you ask them what they would like to eat? And I'm like, ooh, okay. And then you draw it for them. And I'm like, okay. And he said, that's it. You just draw them the food that they want to eat. Shit. I said, you crazy, bro? Are you trolling right now, bro? You want me to get, yo, that's the fastest cancellation ever. I was like, please, dude. I was like, this is why you're behind the camera, bro. That's why I said, this is why you're behind the camera and you're not in front of the camera. Oh my God. Wow. I was like, yeah, this is why you stay behind, bro. I think cameraman's crazy, man. He wants the crazy content. I said, that's not me, man. Maybe if I was Johnny Somali, you know, maybe if I was one of those kind of streamers, that idea would be a wild one, but I don't know if that's what I want to be known as on the internet. But I think drawing 5 strangers till before they notice me is not a bad challenge. I think we just got to think about the name. The naming is everything. Is Johnny Somali in jail right now? Yeah, I think he's still in Korea. I think that guy is yeah, he's somewhere. He's stuck in the world. I'm sure he's in Korea, I think, if I remember correctly. Johnny Somali, man. The face of Kick. Is he in prison now? Yeah, he's been in prison, I'm pretty sure. Teaching the homeless to draw? I don't think we should make any content with homeless people. I'm going to be real with you guys. I think that's just a slippery slope. That's like when Mr. Beast tried to cure the blind in Africa and then everybody canceled him for it. This is even worse than that. Teaching the homeless to draw, they're going to be like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that, bro? Yeah, let's just move away from that. All right, let's chat. Let's move away from that ASAP. That's crazy. All right, let's not entertain that idea. But we got to think about some names. We got to think about some names for the stream though, for this one. So far, I think the best one that I've heard so far is the drawing 5 strangers. I think it's drawing 5 strangers before they spot me is not bad. I just feel like it's not enough. You know, it's just not enough, man. 5 portraits of strangers without consent. Shit. Somebody said turning starving people into starving artists. Okay, you guys need to stop. Oh man, what the hell? I just found out your channel on YouTube because I'm starting my semi-art journey. Good ass content and fellow Filipino. Hey, let's go. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. That's kind of fire. Oh no. Teaching five starving people how to be starving artists. Drawing 5 strangers in 5 minutes with 5 pencils. Okay. Okay. I don't know if I like that actually. With 5 fingers. Yes. All right, but anyways, I just wanted to share. So that's the idea that we have for Wednesday stream. We got to think of a clever name for it. So far, I'll be real, your guys' ideas are kind of dry. But I guess that's why I'm the YouTuber. We should ask other YouTubers what they think for the idea. What's the game they played in Squid Game? We're not doing Squid Games IRL. Are you gonna have a cameraman with you for the stalking? We're not stalking. First of all, chat, there's no stalking involved here. But no, this stream will not be with cameraman. This one will just be a solo stream. We have some other stream ideas with cameraman though, but that'll be a different stream and some other ideas. Drawing 5 strangers and putting them in Squid Game. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh no. I think this is good. What do you guys think of this sketch? Not bad, right? Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, no belly button. Coming up with clickbait titles this way harder than I give it credit for. Yeah, man, it's a lot of work, okay? It's a lot of work. I'll have you guys know, YouTubers spend probably majority of the time just coming up with titles. And sometimes it's usually trash, too. Low-key drawing 5 strangers. Would you click on that, though? Here's the thing. You guys have to think about what would you click on? What is a video you would click on? You know what I'm saying? If you saw it, you'd be like, yo, man, what is this? I gotta click on it. That's what you gotta think about. What is the title that you personally would click on? Drawing Goth Reina. Turning 5 strangers into goth girls. Drawing 5 strangers as goth girl baddies. What the heck? Oh no. Oh no. Now we're cooking? Okay. All right. We opened up the can of worms out here. KSM do it now? Okay, you guys are wild. You guys are crazy. Drawing 5 strangers undetected? Ooh! Hold on. That's sus, but it also sounds kind of good, actually. Drawing 5 strangers undetected. Wait, that kind of has a nice ring to it. Drawing strangers in public illegally? No. Wait, what the hell? Drawing 5 strangers undetected. Hold on, chat. There's something to that one. Is this going to be a short or a main channel video? I think we're going to try to turn it into just some shorts, maybe. But if it's good enough to turn into a main channel video, then I would like to. But we'll see. You'd click on that. Do I get brownie points? Now you get some brownie points. Gender bending 5 strangers. That's crazy. That's actually cancelable, bro. I would get the I would get all of Twitter jumping me for that one. Gender bending, race swapping, everything that gets you canceled on Twitter from the art community. Oh my god. Imagine if I show it to the person too. Hey, I just want to let you know that I drew you. I thought you were really cool to draw. And then be like, so why'd you give me big titties and you made me Asian though? Like, you know, yeah, all right, see ya. And I just whoop, turn around and I'm gone. I'm out of there, man. You tell them that's your style? Yeah. Actually, it's just for representation. You tell them that's, yeah. You guys say, that's crazy, man. Standing on the corner watching, I'm not even. The art of going unnoticed, 5 secret sketches. The art of going unnoticed, 5 secret sketches. That's too long. That's too long, man. Drawing 5 strangers in 5 places in 5 different times. What's up with the 5s? We're doing too many 5s out here. Drawing 5 people before I get exposed. What the hell is that? That sounds so bad. That sounds like such a sus title. Before I get exposed? What do you mean I get exposed? Nah, man. I think you guys are trolling me, actually. I think I'm being trolled. Let me think. All this unnoticed and undetected makes it so weird, but sus is your goal. Sus is not my goal. My goal is to not be sus. I want it to feel like the premise is kind of crazy, you know? Like, what if it's like drawing 5 strangers, but if they see me, I lose? That's too long. I know it's too long. Drawing 5 strangers is already a crazy premise. Well, you didn't. Yeah, it is a crazy premise, but it's not a wild premise. You know what I'm saying? It's not too crazy. Using 5 strangers as designs for my indie anime. I feel like that's cool. That's cool, but I don't want to let people think that they're going to be in my anime. I just wanted to draw you, sir. Actually, that's it. Oh, shoot. I colored on the wrong layer, didn't I? There you go. Yeah, how's it going, the teriyaki? Welcome in. Thanks for the follow. Giving random NPCs art glow-ups. Playing hide and draw with strangers. What the hell is that? Wait, I might click on that actually. Today, hold on, watch. YouTube title, ready? Today we're going to be playing a game with 5 people called Hide and Draw. It's a game where I'm going to be drawing 5 people before they spot me. And here's the catch. They don't know they're playing this game. Will we win on this challenge? Every single time I draw a person, I have to get closer and closer to them. But if they spot me, I lose. Like and subscribe for this crazy ass video. Whoosh. That's sus, bro. That's sus. Don't gas it. Don't gas it. That is sus. That is sus, bro. Stop it. That's sus. What happens when they spot you? Will they win something? True. What will they win? If they spot me, maybe that's what we got to think about. If they spot me, what happens? Do I got to, because I want to give them the drawing either way, right? Maybe we got to think about something. Maybe if they spot me, I get to draw. I have to draw something else for them. Maybe they're gonna just jump me. They win a Cybertruck. They win a lawsuit. They can't see me. Sneaking up on strangers without their knowledge. Okay, that's horrible. You guys are trolling. You guys are trolling me so hard. Let's think. They get free commissions. Yeah, we should think about that. We should think about, like, what if they spot me? Then I gotta maybe do something. Give them $5. Drawing 5 strangers before they spot me. And if they spot me, I give them $5. I run away. Somebody said W for the title, hide and draw. Dude, hide and draw seems so sus though. Like, who's hiding? Me? Why am I hiding, man? I think you guys are actually just trying to get me banned out here. If they spot you, you have to shave your eyebrows. Now that's a video. Drawing 5 strangers. And if they spot me, I shave my eyebrows. I only have 2. Yeah, I'm drawing 5 people. What if they spot me? I shave their eyebrows. Okay. Okay. It's not bad. You get 2 chances. Hey, thanks for the follows, guys. Star Sami and Shade Art Insa. Welcome in. Thanks for the follows. I'd love to know how you guys found my stream today. Oh, have you guys heard about there's an Instagram account where it's called it's like I boxing my followers until I get knocked out or something like that. What if it's like that? It was like I draw them, and if they spot me, we had to fight. We have to box. You've seen that? Thanks for this. Thanks for this sub on YouTube as well, Laura. Welcome in, Laura. You would watch that? Yeah, that's a pretty wild one. Wild premise. I think maybe they just get a free drawing request. I would lose to anyone. I would 100% knock you out. I would 100%. You, Jay, specifically, I'd knock you out, bro. It should be KSM versus mods. On any challenge. Any challenge. You can request a challenge for me. You get knocked out, bro. Mods are winning? Oh, bro. Not Shemrock. Oh, no. Not Shemrock. He's back. Oh, shit. I was telling hey, Shemrock. I told him your crazy idea, our IRL idea, where we draw food for people. Also, thank you for the follow, Shining Silence. Appreciate it. Welcome in, welcome in. All right, there it is. Boom, ta-da, we drew her. See, perspective, easy. Homeless feeding with art. Yeah, it's legit. Oh my God. Oh man. I think what we could do is yeah, we can just maybe they get a drawing request from me. If they spot me, then they get a drawing request. If they don't spot me, well, they get the art. They don't get a drawing request though. Somebody on YouTube said, I still prefer the idea of you drawing somebody, and then when he sees you, you show them a drawing just for him to realize you race swapped him. That, yo, chat, this is why this is why I don't ask you guys for ideas, suggestions. That is a wild idea. Yo, come on, man. That's a wild idea. Race swapping people I draw? What is the... If they spot you, you tackle them. I don't know. I don't know, chat. I think we're straying further away here. Let's think. We need a title, man. What's the title? So I guess the title is just... Is the title really just gonna be that we draw people? And then if they spot us, before they spot me. If they spot you, you give them a kiss? Okay, what the heck? That's actually gonna get me arrested. What are you guys talking about? I thought you guys were on my side here. I thought I was going to be undetected. Yeah, well, we don't want them to detect me. If they detect me, then well, I think I'm going to approach them either way and let them know that I drew them, which is going to be a very tough and interesting challenge. We're going to see how that goes. For sure. Maybe you assassinate them. Didn't you just follow me recently? Hold on, bro. That's such a wild thing. You literally followed me 6 minutes ago. And the first thing you say is maybe you assassinate them? Yo, what is going on? That's crazy. Yo. What the hell? Let's see. You got to see a lot of streamers, watchers. You're going to see a lot of streamer watchers that day. VIP them. Lore accurate case and chatter. Yeah, that's honestly pretty accurate. Okay, I think we can do my original idea, chat. I think the drawing 5 strangers before they spot me. What do you guys think? Is that one too boring? Is that just too meh? Too mid? Is it not spicy enough? Still sus? Boring? What was the one that we liked earlier? Drawing 5 people undetected? Jeez. That one actually seems sus. Hide and draw. You guys like hide and draw? What if they see you in the first 5 minutes? Well, then I have to give them a drawing. I think the stream doesn't end They just get a challenge from me. Well, actually, what if the stream does end? Stream ends. Video ends when a stranger spots me. That's crazy. And then you'll see the timestamp for the video is only like 3 minutes long. Okay. Kasem is so good at hiding the stream will last 8 hours. You like that? Hold on. Okay, can we name that? Can we put a title on that? What's the title for that then? Drawing. Okay, drawing 5 strangers. Stream ends. Stream ends if they spot me or something like that. Dude, the stream is literally just gonna be. The stream is literally gonna be like 2 seconds long. 2 minutes if someone snipes him. What if I start going to places incognito? I go dressed up as an old man.
Kasem will be running a 180-second ad break shortly. Thanks for supporting the stream.
All right. Yo, how's it going? Asir on YouTube side. Welcome in. Stream ends when I get caught. Okay. Damn, look at the shadows on this one. Sheesh. Easy. Easy. Okay, chat. On a yes or no. If you saw a 100-foot giant woman, okay, like this, and you looked up and she was about to step, but like she was like up there, you know, like ah, and so like if she was there and you looked up, 100-foot tall woman, right, and she was about to step on you, would you let her? Thank you for the sub, teacher that arts. Wow. Someone just said, Kasem, I love your educational content. You are an inspiration to us teachers out here. I am so sorry that you had to come in as I said what I just said. That, yo, that's crazy, man. The timing on that. Shit. Hey, nobody clipped that, bro. Nobody clipped that. Let's see. Anyways, dude, this I think I cooked on this one. I think so. Okay, did we come up with the conclusion though? Drawing 5 strangers, but stream ends if they spot me. What do you think? This boy been hanging out with cameraman too much? Yeah, no, that's true. That is very, very true. I have been hanging out with him, maybe a little too much. Drawing strangers, but the video ends when they spot me. Yo, Jay with an actual good suggestion out here. I knew Jay had it in him. Jay was holding out on us, chat. Yo, that's kind of fire. Drawing strangers, but the video ends when they spot me. Yo, would you click on that? Would you click on that video, chat? That one might be a clickable one. That might be a clickable one. That could be it. How do you guys feel about that title? Drawing strangers. Okay. I feel like the number of people that will probably notice but not say anything is higher than you'd expect. I feel like I'm pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I've drawn some people in public. And I feel like they didn't know. They didn't know. I would click on it, but skip to the end. Ah, true. You would just skip to the end though. Yeah. I see what you're saying. People would just be like, all right, well, let's just see. Let's just see literally what happens at the end. Dang. We got to think of an idea where people don't just straight up skip to the end. You're right about that, chat. We got to think of a title where they stay. That's a tough one. That's a doozy. Okay. I think this is it though. I think we're good on this one, right? This demo. What do you guys think? Solid demo? Helpful today? Let me know in the chat if this one was a helpful demo. I might actually post this one on Instagram as a demo breakdown for today's stream, because we kind of cooked. We kind of cooked out here. We went from what did we do? We did this to the gesture. We went from this to this. Sheesh. This to this to wait, what the hell is this? To this. Sometimes you got to trust the process. From that to this. Very good. Honestly, I should do one of these per stream. I think I should. My goal should be to knock out one of these every stream, bro. I just want to get better. You know, I want to be the master. I want to be the master of drawing zoomed in characters like this. This should be the YouTube thumbnail. Want to learn how to draw dynamic wide angle poses easily? That's what I'm saying, chat. Sleep paralysis monster? This is your sleep paralysis monster? I heard somebody said that their sleep paralysis monster was Diddy. I think this is a lot safer than having Diddy be your sleep paralysis monster. That's not even bad. Just imagine Diddy with the baby oil. Oh, I'm good, bro. Diddy's free now. What do you mean he's free, bro? There's no way he's free. Oh my god. Click this video or else. Yeah, that's the energy from this one. Damn, okay. What a wild stream, bro. Is he? Okay, well, we did this one. Here's what we'll do. You guys, he won the case? Oh my gosh. What is this justice system we're in right now? He's still going to jail though, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he's completely free. I think he got charged for some things, right? I think he got charged for some things. But all right, here's what we're gonna do, guys. I'm thinking I'm thinking today, since we already knocked out this tutorial, if you guys want to drop some tutorials today, help me make some YouTube shorts, some clips. Drop some right now, do some TTS. Let's go crank out a bunch. Let's crank out a bunch of high quality tutorials. And I swear on my life, if all of them are just me drawing feet, I'm gonna time you out. I'm gonna time you out. But the title though, what's the title of this stream, man? I don't think we even had a title yet. Maximum 8 years prison? All right, that's still crazy. Okay, so the title of the stream for Wednesday is Drawing 5 Strangers Undetected? Undetected? Drawing 5 strangers undetected? That seems so off, bro. Hey, thank you for the primer clap. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Drawing 5 strangers. Maybe the title is crazy, bro. Maybe the title is crazy. Is the premise crazy? The premise is not that crazy, right, chat? Like, on paper, the premise isn't actually that crazy. It's a bit weird, but it's not even that weird if you think about it, because artists do this all the time, right? When we go out and we draw, we're always drawing people in public and stuff. But I think what's maybe the part that's crazy is that I have to get closer and closer every time I draw them. You've never done that? You've never gone out and drawn people from life? Damn. Says a lot about you. I see. I get it now. Running around in public with my pencil and drawing 5 strangers. That's too long. That's too long. That's too long, man. Till they see me. Drawing 5 strangers. Oh, man. What are we even doing? What are we even doing? Let's imagine it. Okay, YouTube video. Okay, let's just pretend we're doing a video right now, all right? Okay, here we go. Hold on. How close can I get to 5 people while drawing them? That is a sus, but almost a double entendre, because it's almost like I want to get to know them. Right? Because the point of the video is I draw them and then I chat with them afterwards. I tell them, hey, I drew you, by the way. And if it's weird, it's weird. But if it's not, maybe I get to know them. How close can I get to 5 people while drawing them? That's kind of that's kind of sus. What do you think? What do you think? Okay, here's the premise. Here's the premise. Some of you guys didn't hear the premise earlier. So let me explain the premise. Here's the premise, okay? This is the premise of the video. Some of you guys haven't heard this. So here's the premise. We're going to go out in public and we're going to do what a lot of artists do when they draw from life, which is drawing some strangers that we see. But the catch is that every time I draw somebody, it has to get closer and closer. So the first person we draw, maybe they'll be like 30 meters away. Then they'll have to be 20 meters away, 10 meters away, until eventually that last person, I have to draw them basically right next to them before they can spot me. We're talking in meters because I know some of you guys don't understand feet unless we're talking toes. But that's the premise, okay? That's the premise of the videos. We draw them, but we got to get closer and closer. But that's why that title kind of hits. How close can I get to 5 people while drawing them? Somebody was asking what the drawing tablet that I use is. It's the Huion 24. The Huion 24 Pro tablet. 4K resolution. Honestly, my favorite tablet. It's unfortunate to say, but after I got this tablet, I haven't really been using my iPad professionally. Hey, thanks for the sub, Poggy. Yeah, nah, I'm kind of digging it. I'm kind of digging that. How close can I get to 5 people? Maybe the word is stranger. Maybe stranger is too sus. You know, maybe it's the stranger part that's kind of like weird. What if we just said drawing 5 people before they notice me? Making, wait. Hold on. What if it's, can I make 5 new friends if I draw them? Is that it? Is that the idea? Can I make 5 new friends if I draw them? Now that sounds super sad. And then at the end of the video, we can say how many friends we've made. Literally the premise is the same, mind you. It's just the goal maybe is different now. The goal is we try to make friends. Drawing new friends, invading personal space while drawing. I draw 5 strangers, but if I draw them well enough, will they call me a friend or a freak? Yo, maybe that's the idea. Wait, that's too long. Okay, how do we shorten that though? Friend or freak? Welcome guys to another series of Friend or Freak, where not only are we going to be drawing people, but we're gonna see if our drawings are good enough to befriend them, or will they just call us a freak? Friend or freak, drawing strangers until they judge me. Ooh, might be a goated idea, actually. Spitballing here, drawing real people while zooming in. Wait, what? I mean, we're drawing them. That sounds like a Jeopardy segment. Yeah, that sounds a little too on the nose. I draw 5 people. Will they call me back afterwards? Okay, that's us. How many friends can I make before I go to prison? Okay. All right, guys. Y'all trolling me on this, man. Y'all trolling me on this one. Okay, drop your tutorials though. Do we have any tutorial suggestions? Let me see what people said.
Tie for this. I don't have much experience with dynamic perspective, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, you're welcome, I guess. There you go. Now, I kind of like the idea though, where it's like, what shit? What did I say earlier, chat? It was, can I make 5 new friends if I draw them? Was that what the title was? Can I make meeting new people by drawing them? Maybe this is yeah, maybe there's something there with that idea. Because at the end of it, we'll find out if I made 5 new friends. But you have to watch the whole video to see. Maybe. Drawing closer to 5 new people. I don't know. Let's see. TTS.
How to turn my Ock into a goth baddie.
How do I turn my OC to a goth baddie? Let's take a look real quick, man. What does hold on? What does a goth baddie even look like? Let's go to Pinterest. Goth girl. Can we do that? Let's see. That's such a specific tutorial, bro. Come on, man. Okay. Honestly, we're kind of there. And look, I think we just need I think we just need the more bold eye looks and maybe like some chokers. Careful, some of it might be TOS. Yeah, I was scrolling and I was like, wait a minute. This is a dangerous thing to search up. Okay, let's see. First, we got to go bolder on the eyes, right? Then we need to go okay. Bolder, not balder. Nose piercing? Jesus piece? What else? Let's see. Yeah, a bunch of leather and belts. True. Tattoos? Tattoos? Obviously, we got to have some tattoos. Um, all right. What else? A little bit more disgusted. Okay, there you go. Ta-da! Close enough. There's your tutorial, all right? You said, Kasem, how do you draw a goth girl? You basically give her some darker lipstick, make her look like she wants to step on you, give her some eye makeup, throw in a tattoo, throw in some nice chains, and you're good to go. See? Easy, chat. It's that easy. All right, next tutorial. Next tutorial.
Animal studies on stream when? Not the Earl ones.
Animal studies on stream. That is going to be, I think, an after school our crew exclusive. I don't know if you guys, let me see. Let me open it up real quick. That one might be an after school art crew exclusive because I don't know if you guys are ready for it. I'll be honest. I don't know if you guys are ready for some gorilla stuff. Let me show you guys. Let me show you guys what we've been doing on the after school art crew. So if you guys want to learn how to draw animals, we actually break these down on my stream. Look at this. We do everything from the skeletal. We break it down into sections from spine, rib, hips. We talk about the appendages. We talk about the muscle groupings as well. Then we talk about texture and fur. So if you guys want to learn about how to draw animals, we actually have that. It's on my Friday streams, but those are only part of the after school art crew, which you guys can check out actually right here. There you go. Hopefully you guys are interested in learning about that one. Check out the Discord. Actually, hold on. Maybe I should maybe that should be a video really quick. Hold on. You're right. Hold on. That's a good idea, actually. Okay. So somebody asked, they said, KSM, when are you going to do some animal studies on my streams? And actually, we are already doing them as part of my after school program, which you can check out on my Discord. And you'll find videos like this where I break down how to understand the skeletal anatomy, everything from the ribs to the hips to the spine to the actual muscle groups to even how we draw textures and stuff. So make sure to check out the Discord on the links below. And I hope you guys join in. There it is. Hey, good one. Hey, I see you. That was a good clip. Fair enough.
How to stylize muscles.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about that, I guess. We could do a tutorial on how to style muscles. Who here is interested in that? One's in the chat if you are interested in learning how to stylize muscles. Because if you are, we can do that really quick. But here's what we're going to do, though. I think the best way to do it is to actually get a reference of an arm muscle. So let's do that really quick. Let's not look up goth girl anymore. And instead, let's look up arm muscle. Oh, this one. Perfect. This is good. All right, we're going to take this one and we're going to slap it on.
Jim Klein said, K, you may want to verify the legality of your concept. CA is a two-party consent state for recording conversations. Both people have to agree. It may apply to video too. Hard not to show footage if you already streamed it.
Ooh, you may want to verify the legality or concept is a two-party consent state for recording conversations. Damn. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate the super chat out here. All right, we'll do some research. We got to make sure. Though technically, yeah, we got to do some research on that. If it's in like a public space and stuff. Somebody on Twitch chat said, though, it doesn't. Video in public is covered under the First Amendment. Okay. There is no expectation of privacy in the public. Okay. We can definitely double check that. That's a good call out, though. That's definitely a good call out. We'll see what it is. Somebody said just use your Second Amendment. Jesus. Okay, let's talk about muscles really quick, all right? But I appreciate that, Jim. Thanks for looking out, man. We'll definitely do some research before we, And if you ask at the start of the convo if it's cool for them to be on camera, then that's consent. That's true. I think drawing people and drawing strangers is probably like, I mean, they're on footage, they're on camera already. It's like you know, it's kind of a given. Also, why are we getting so many follows now? Is it because of this? Because of the goth girl redraw? Come on, Chad. Yeah, you guys are not slick. Verocarp, thank you for the follow. Nincorn and XD Rail. We all know why you guys followed just now. we know why you followed. All right, we respect it. We respect the appreciation. We'll keep it like that. You just followed me on YouTube and you thought you'd follow here? Of course. That's all it was. Okay. Let's talk about muscles, right? So let's just say we have here this realistic muscle drawing and we go in here and let's just kind of go in like this, right? Here's the thing. So if you want to stylize, first you need to understand what it is that you are drawing. So in this case right here, we have the shoulder muscles, we've got here the pectoral muscles, and then we've got the triceps, right? So if you want to stylize a drawing, oftentimes the best ways to do it, I think, is to just push the shape design, but be consistent with it. So for example, you have this one, these are pretty rounded forms, but maybe what you could do is you can sharpen those, right? Anytime that there is a curvature that it needs to be kind of pointy and stuff, you can sharpen that out. And then that way you can have a shape design that looks like this, but you need to be consistent with that. So here, this one might be more of a sharper triangular shape design. Alternatively, you could take this and you could say, well, you know what? Maybe what we could do is, I'll do it on this layer down below. You could go for a rounder shape design, but the rounder shape design, you know, you still have to kind of let it flow. So here we might let things flow a bit. Because sometimes I see people say stuff like, oh, Kasem, I heard that I'm not supposed to use rounded shapes, right? It's not necessarily that the shapes can't be round, but it's more about the asymmetry. So here's an example here where we're taking the muscle groups, but we're creating them to be a little bit more rounder. And then if you wanted to do another style, you could do an even more like boxy style, right? So shape design is really all it is. So here, this one might be more of the Young Justice Vox Machina style, right? Like that, where we're going in here and doing boxy shapes. As opposed to some of the more rounder shape designs that we saw earlier. So let me go ahead and just recap that one, right? So let's do that again. Okay. Alrighty. So if you guys want to learn, hold on, let me hide this little thing. Also, we're getting so many woofs now. Oh boy, we're getting a bunch of requests now, I see. Okay, here we go. So if you want to learn how to basically stylize the muscles of your character, all you need to do first is understand what exactly the muscles are. So that might be the hardest step, but for example here, we've got the deltoid muscles, right? We've got the pectoral muscles here. Then we have the biceps curving on the top, then the triceps below. And then what I like to do is just pick different shape designs, triangular, circular, or round. So here's an example where we're going to go with a much more triangular shape design like this, with sharper angles whenever the muscles curve. Here, we're going to go for one that flows a little bit more, but it overlaps onto each other, still respecting the asymmetry of the muscles. And last but not least, we go for more of that Young Justice, good old Phil Barasa boxy style, where we try to simplify based off of the planes of the muscles. But really, as long as you learn the muscles, that is the first step.
180-second ad break shortly. Thanks for supporting the stream.
Not the ad break reminder. Let me know. Let me know. I think we're good. I think that was fine though, right? I think so. I don't know. Should we redo it, chat? Should we redo it before the ad break interrupted? All right, we'll try it again. We'll try it again. Ah, we got to do it again. Okay, guys. So, if you want to learn how to stylize your muscles, this is what you got to do. You first got... All right, we back. Okay. We're going to try this one. I feel like Miles Morales in the Spider-Verse. All right. We're going to do this one last time. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about how to draw some arms, some arm muscles. Let's do this. All right, locking in. Here we go. Can't believe we got to do this again for a second time. Technically a third time. Okay, let's do this. All right. So if you've ever wanted to try and stylize the muscles of your characters, let me show you how to easily do it. So first, maybe the hardest step is to figure out actually how the muscles work. And so knowing them might be helpful. For example, we got here the deltoid right there, the pectoral muscles. Then that kind of in front of that on the upper side, we have the bicep and the tricep, right? But from there, all I really like to do is I like to just pick different shape designs for each one and push it according to that. So here we have a triangular shape design to kind of capture the angles whenever the muscles curve. Here we have more of a round shape design, letting the muscles flow into each other while still respecting the asymmetry. And last but not least, that more Phil Barassa style, where we go for the boxy shape here, where we let the plane transitions showcase the muscle forms. But hopefully this one helps. Let's go. All right. There it is. We did it. Okay. Can't believe we had to do that one like 30 times.
You could do a play on words with the how close can I get to strangers while drawing them, implying distance, but you're talking about emotional connection.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a wild one. I think the title has to be something more chill, like, can I make 5 new friends by drawing them? I think that seems tame and not too crazy. I don't know. I think that seems okay, and I think it gets the point across. You know? I don't know. How do you develop that YouTube voice? That sounds sad though. Okay, give me let's see here. What are some not sad titles? What are some like not sad depressing titles? How do you develop the YouTube voice? Years of streaming. I got flavors of voices, chat. What if we did that? Wait, this might be a bad idea. I was gonna say, what if we did a chat redeem on the IRLs, where if you guys redeem it, I gotta change my voice. Maybe I gotta go Cowboy K. How's it going, partner? Just wanted to let you know I was moseying around here and I just, happened to catch your eye, grabbed my paper, and drew you on one of these. Let me show you right here on this doohickey I got what you call a sketchbook, and I just drew your proportions and your likeness on this paper. The Dobby one? Nah, we're not doing that. Actually, see, this is why we'd never do it. This is why we'd never make the redemption, because I know exactly what you guys would be typing. It would be that. It would be Kasem. Make him do the Dobby voice. Are you a new friend? We can't, bro. Nah, no thank you. No thank you. I'll pass. Let's see here. But yeah, I don't know about the title, man. I don't know about the title too much. I think the title is going to be a bit tricky. Making 5 new friends. Let's see. Maybe like Will. What was it again? Friend or freak? Maybe friend or freak is kind of funny. Showing 5 people the drawings I did of them. Something like that, you know? Friend or freak? Will they like my drawings? Will they like it, or will they call me a freak? Will they say I'm sus? All right, next TTS.
How to race swap Mayok.
Okay, a band. We're not doing that tutorial.
How to stylize butts checks.
Yo, Connie. Yo, you know, you guys, yo, let me show you guys something Connie did, bro. Connie is such a troll, man. Also, yeah, I don't know why Amy's barking like that. Let me show you guys what Connie did, bro. Connie was trolling me yesterday. He said, let me show you guys this. He said this. Yo, bro, care to have another character designer on your team to speed up the workflow? He draws fast and super detailed on paper and digital. He has a cool character designs on Instagram. I looked up this dude. This guy has 0 posts. No link. No nothing, right? I said, you mean the guy with 0 posts on IG? Stop playing games with me, bro. He said he hasn't posted it though. He hasn't posted it. He sent his work to your main Instagram account. He didn't. This guy never sent me anything, bro. Stop trolling me, man. Stop trolling me right now, man. This guy doesn't have any drawings. Nothing was sent to me. Nowhere. I checked everything. I checked the request. I checked the spam. Nothing was ever sent. Give it time? I'm not giving it time, bro. Why are you asking me to give time to a random stranger? I gotta draw random strangers. Wild, bro. Give it time. Is it you? Is your alt account?
Maybe how to draw the face from below and make it look good. I know the gobble gobble under the chin gets a lot of people.
The gobble gobble? Oh, you mean the thing underneath? Yeah. Okay, bet. Now let's talk about that. Actually, that's a good tutorial because we technically had the girl already right here. So, all right, let's talk about that tutorial. That should be a fun one. Technically, I don't even know if I did this one right. I kind of cheated it a little bit. Okay, let's do it. All right. Okay, so if you want to learn how to draw poses like this where the angle is pretty crazy and you're looking up somebody this way, what you want to do actually first is you want to first try to visualize the person you're drawing as a box, right? So imagine this face right here like this. And because you're looking up at somebody, you do see a little bit of that plane underneath, right? This is going to be important because oftentimes whenever people are drawing characters like this, they miss out on the fact that underneath the jaw, there is still some space. So you want to make sure that you capture that when you're drawing your characters. So right here, going in here, drawing the face, and then still capturing a little bit there of that under space of the jaw. And then from there, just draw the proportions of your character. Hopefully that helps. There it is. Okay. You got to just draw the underside right there. That's really the main thing, honestly. Okay, we got any more tutorials out here? Surprisingly, a good number of you guys requested them. Let's see.
Can we get a tutorial on more conceptual stuff? Like what is your approach to costume design when you're coming up with ideas?
That's a hard one to turn into a YouTube short. Costume designs. Damn. I think that one we did talk about it a little bit on stream. Funny enough, yesterday we did talk about it on the after school art crew stuff. But primarily, I won't turn this one into a YouTube short, but I'll just answer it. Generally speaking, the way that I think about the way that I approach designing characters is I try to think about, one, who is the character in the world that they're in, right? Like, what is their purpose? Where do they come from? What environment are they from, right? How old are they? What are their occupations? All of those factors. And then I think about other things too, like shape design, right? So like, what is the main motifs of the characters? Are they more of a triangular shape design, square shape design, more rounder? And I basically combine those two elements together, right? So I try to pick a theme, all the information of where they're from, who they are, what they do, all of that stuff. And then I take that and I try to find a motif. And then similarly, I do the same thing with colors as well, right? So I pick certain colors to match that motif the best. So that's usually my thought process. And on top of that, so when I'm doing all of this stuff, when I'm asking the questions of who, what, where, right? All of that stuff. That is also when I'm grabbing references. So let's just say this character, she is a tattoo artist, for example, right? So she's a tattoo artist. Maybe she's a tattoo artist from, I don't know what type of tattoos she might, but let's just say she's a tattoo artist and she's from Japan, we'll just say, right? So she might have some, or maybe she's from China. So then maybe she has some tattoos that are maybe Chinese themed, Chinese inspired, whatever have you. So that's generally how I think about it. I try to break it down into who the character is in the world that they're in, the type of shapes that I want them to convey, and then obviously the type of colors that help support everything else. So yeah, hopefully that helps. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to teach, I think, conceptual stuff because it's conceptual. It's a lot broader. There's no right or wrong way to go about it. Like, everybody has a different approach, and it's really just up to you to see which of those approaches you like. Can we clip that? We can try. We can try to clip it. It's a bit of a longer clip though, but we can try it. We can see if that works. Damn, it's a long one.
How to make my character look sexy. I think most people think sharper, more symmetrical shapes, but can that work with fat characters? Does this work with different body type? What about styles? Maybe hard and fast rules?
Wow, that's a tough one to do as well. For sure. Yeah, I mean, I think a character's beauty is not defined in their weight. I think oftentimes beauty is subjective, right? So you can create multiple interpretations of a character, but I think you can have a character, I think, as long as the expression is matching whatever it is you need to convey, that's really it. Like, in my mind, what is considered sexy, right? It can vary so much for different people. So I could imagine, like, if you had a character who was maybe a little bit more seductive, maybe they're more curvy, more voluptuous, maybe they're a little bit sly. So I think it has less to do, I think, with like sharpness of a character, but really more about their acting, their portrayal, and how you can convey that. So I don't know. That's another, unfortunately, hard tutorial. That one's a bit of a harder one to also kind of cover easily. So I don't know if I could capture that one well.
I know this isn't a tutorial topic, but maybe talk about how you feel about art challenges. I know a lot of artists get a little wary about doing them for one reason or another. Might be a good clip.
I don't know if this is clippable, but what I will say is I think art challenges can be one of the best ways to improve as an artist, because it forces you to basically, actually draw stuff that you that you want to draw, so you're not just doing studies, and it also gives you some accountability. I think that's what I like about challenges, is you get that accountability where you're forced to have to draw certain things at a certain time frame with a certain criteria. And if it's like more of a public challenge as well, then you get to share some of that as well too with other people, get some exposure from it, blah, blah, blah. So I think challenges can be great. But I think at the end of the day, what's more important is drawing stuff for yourself. I think that's the thing that sometimes people lose. Like even I struggled with that for a good amount of time as an artist, where I was always just trying to think, like, what could I draw that other people wanted to see, right? What was the viral stuff that people wanted to see? And I'm not just talking TikTok, Instagram. I'm even talking about like, if I want to work in animation, right? If I want to work on my own series or show, I was thinking like, what do people want to see? What is popular right now? But I think if you're always aiming for that, I feel like oftentimes you will end up just burning yourself out. So personally, I like to think that challenges can be good as long as it's a challenge that you yourself are already interested in, right? I think that's really it. I actually don't like the nose ring. But yeah, I think that's all the TTS though, and I think we kind of have a title for the stream on Wednesday. We have here, we're drawing some people. We might make friends with them, but maybe the title is a little too depressing. Making new friends. Can I make 5 new friends by drawing them? It's a little depressing. I can see that vibe. But yeah, let me think what else is happening this month. Let's see. This month we are also doing Oh, actually I had some ideas for tutorials if you guys want to go over them. How to draw hands. Maybe that's the point. Maybe it's supposed to be depressing. Maybe that's the reality, is it's hard for artists to make friends. You guys ever thought about that? You guys ever thought that maybe it's actually kind of tough? Creepy or creative making new friends by drawing them. Okay. Wait, that's kind of not bad actually. Creepy or creative making new friends by drawing them. That's kind of spooky. Using art to cure my social anxiety. When is the long awaited, let's do the TTS.
So when is our long awaited Adon cheese?
Adon cheese, Adon, draw it in your style. Well, Adon, you guys are gonna get it soon. I'll say that much. We're definitely thinking about the Adon one soon. But I need to do the traditional stuff first. I need to do the traditional drawings first for all of them actually, and then we can get into the what's it called? We can get into the draw it in your styles. Plus, as you guys know, I don't have time, bro. Part of why I stopped doing the Ground Zero challenge was I just didn't have time. I didn't have time to do it. It's tough. How to win new friends and influence people. Sounds like a game of Catan. Can I... What is it? Yeah, can I manipulate people with my art? Can I brainwash some new people? Is that a book? That sounds like, I was gonna say that sounds like a book title. Can I bribe 5 strangers into being my friend with art? Which channel on Discord should I reach you for possibly helping with editing? DM me on Discord if you're interested in some editing stuff. Yeah. All right, let's crank out. I want to crank out one more tutorial, man. Let's see here. I don't think we have a hands tutorial. We don't have a hands tutorial, do we? I guess we have the posing one. Did we already do a tutorial to break down this? I don't think so. We should actually. We should make one for this. Or did I? I don't remember if I did, chat. Did I already do one where I talked about how to draw poses like this? Maybe. Maybe not. Okay. Here, I'll do one where I talk about perspective, because I think that's actually a valuable one from this theme here. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. So if you want to learn how to draw poses like this, there's actually one thing you need to know, which is how to understand the perspective of your drawings. So when you take a look here at this one right here actually has something different from your standard perspective, which is that it has a bit of warping on it. You'll notice that when I draw these perspective lines and I place the horizon line right here, I'm also curving things out because of the type of camera lens that's being used. And so when you start to draw things out, you have to consider that when you're adding the gesture, then when you add in the forms, and eventually when you add actually, the character in here. So hopefully that helps. Make sure to use those perspective grids to help you with drawing character poses just like this one. Bam. There it is. Thank you for the follow. It's Yosef. And thanks for tuning in. How's it going, bots? You want some guideline for hands, maybe? Shit.
Which channel on Discord should I reach you
Oh,
for
yeah,
possibly
answer that.
helping out? Guidelines for hands. Some people do the silhouette and fill it in later, others do the box and fried thing. What do you do and how do you handle hand posing?
Yeah, okay, let's talk about it. So there's a couple ways that I draw hands. The first way I draw hands is one where I basically take a box shape like this and I try to find the silhouette. Usually what I'll do is I'll combine the three fingers together like this, and sometimes I'll put the thumb in there as like a basic shape. Another thing that I like to do as well is maybe I want something that's a little bit more maybe dynamic. I actually like to think of the hands as like little claws. And sometimes when I do it that way, it kind of helps me. I don't know, there's something about it, but I kind of just imagine the fingers all kind of extending outwards from that hand like that. And that can be helpful as well too. So really there's no right or wrong way, but I think something to keep in mind is that proportion is important. So the palm of the hand should be roughly about the same length as the fingers. And as long as you keep that in mind, you can probably get some good hand drawings. Hopefully that helps. But yeah, that's kind of it. That's kind of really how I think about hands, is I just try to find whatever easiest way. So like give me I don't know, let's just say we want to do a hand like this, right? Where the hand is reaching forward like this pose. So what I'll do is I'll take the hand, I'll draw the palm of the hand first. And for something like this, because the fingers are already going to be so crazy, I like to kind of think about the gesture a little bit, right? But then I kind of go in there and I try to treat them as separate fingers. So maybe it's almost like a combination of the two approaches where I'm taking that and I'm kind of going in. And then here we take the halfway mark there for the thumb, right? And you can kind of see like, ta-da, hand. So there's a couple approaches, but I think the main one that I try to go for is I try to understand first the relationship of the palm of the hand with the fingers, and I usually do that through gesture and basic forms, and then I try to draw them individually because each finger is separate from each other, and so you kind of have to watch out for that. Sometimes if you don't watch out for that, you'll have fingers that kind of feel like they're just stuck together. And sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't. You know, like I think the times that it works, for example, is, let's just say you have let's just say you do a gesture like this, right? Where you have the hand, and what I like to do is maybe here, I'll have the hand flow there, but then I might have these two fingers kind of combine. And here the thumb is long, so we'll change that. So in this case, you know, like, it's okay, but I still like to go back in here though and make sure that even with these fingers, I'm understanding where the knuckles are originating. Because otherwise, it might look off. If you want to get more like detailed, like up close hands, right? You want to really get, like, let's say we're talking like My Hero Academia style, right? Where the fingers are like zoomed in. I think for that, I like to visualize, again, still the major forms, but at this point, we're thinking more about perspective over anything. And then reference is obviously going to be your best friend in this matter. But, you know, a lot of it also is, I think, just practicing drawing hands over time. So what I would recommend to anybody who struggles with drawing hands is draw like 500 hands. Draw 500 hands, you know? But yeah, see, so drawing hands actually is not that hard. You just need to understand how the movement of the hand works, and you could literally draw anything from imagination. Like this one right here, we just drew this one from imagination, you know? We just kind of zoomed it, and then boom, that's it. Easy peasy. So that's kind of what I think about drawing hands, is you just have to get used to the process of it. Like any hand drawing, you know, you just tell me, we'll do it. We could draw it, but it does take some practice and understanding and trial and error. Just like go out and do the, you know, do the approach, do whatever works. So I don't know, we could try like another hand or something, right? But all right, let's do one more TTS, guys, and then we'll do the freestyle rap. Let's see what we got.
He's online, bro. He just messaged you on Instagram.
I'm not falling for it, bro. I'm not falling for your tricks, Connie. Nah. Nice try, bro. Connie tried to get us on the last one. Stop. He almost got me. All right, guys, let's do a quick freestyle rap. If you guys can, just drop some words in the chat, spam some emotes, because we're about to do a quick freestyle rap, and then we will find somebody to raid on today's stream. All right, let's go find a quick beat on this one today. Do we got a beat? Man, I don't know if we got a beat today. What beat is this? Damn, that's a hard beat. Hold on, we got a chill beat. All right, YouTube chat, type some words too. Yo, okay, look. Yeah, yo, okay, look, I'm shookin' like a book, yo, case him over here and you know what it took, yeah, and I'm just about to go draw with my friends, case him over here, we just draw, don't pretend, yeah, and you just know I got it with flow. I'm about to hide incognito, yeah, and I be moving with a caddy, case I'm looking big, might have to call me daddy, alright, wait, but I'm not moving like a creeper, case I'm got it hot, he just got it with a heater, yeah, and I'm about to go and draw with the hands, I'm about to go do my own little dance, yes, it's just me, I am not really phony. I'm about to cook a cheese macaroni, case him, and I be moving undetected, and I be drawing and you know I stay protected, and they just throwing words like orange, I'm about to swing the door like a door hinge, and I'm about to go home, case him over here, got it rocking like his knee bone, got it over here, I need a new phone, caught me up to the top and I'm just in a zone, and I be rapping, I bring it back, I don't stop it, I'm not capping, I gotta go relax it, and I'm moving super hot like I was just dynamic. That was a word in that chat, vertical chat with the viewers, bring it back, that was fire, case I'm about to go take it higher, don't retire, they saying case him, you need a rival? Shit, I just need to go arrive like rivals, and I need to go and paint, I'm about to go do it crazy, I'm no saint, cause I'm killing the beat, I'm killing the art, I'm killing the streets, not like that, but I put it repeat, okay, if you new to the chat today, drop in some words as you know I don't play, freestyle K, bring it right back, tell he wildin', over here you know that I be drawing, I be styling, woo! Yeah, okay, let's find somebody to raid. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in on today's stream. Bring it back one time on repeat. Yeah, bring it back one time as I see. Yeah, we just gotta go and raid. We doing it all day. Okay. Yeah, who do we got to raid? Scrolling on a chat and you know we don't hate. Case him over here with 140 viewers. Yo, where did you come? It's too many to count. We just about to go and bring it back. We need new amounts. So I was just about to say, K-Sam, he is who? Getting all the wwws like it was websites. And we just scrolling over here, we just might flex like it was all might, do it like it's all night. Yeah, we just keep it all tight, no left, cause we just staying all right. Who do we got to raid? Over here today, like no way. Who do we got to raid? Yo, they saying SK2 was first today. First to that stream. Hanging out, but you know what I mean. We got a raid. We hanging on a beam like it was ultra light beams. All right, guys, let's go raid. We're gonna raid today Crime Melt. We've never raided them before, but we know we like to support other streamers out here, new people out here on the streams. So thank you again for joining in on today's stream. I appreciate you guys. I hope it was a good stream. Hope you guys honestly liked it. I really was vibing today, and I will see you guys Wednesday. We're gonna do an IRL Wednesday, and we also have a big IRL stream planned for the month of July, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it in the future. All right, guys. Make sure to use the raid message. Copy this message right here, raid and sub raid. Thank you again for being part of the KSM crew. We've been doing this for 5 years, but we're gonna do it for 5 more. Yo. Okay. Yeah. Hold up. Okay. We gotta go raid. Here we go. Yo. Look. We just gotta go and raid like Crime Melt today. They about to get raided. We got no hate. We just about to go off of the top. We gon' say peace to now, peace for today. See you later. We ain't talking about no haters. We raided in the chat. We about to raid a see you guys. Bye. Bye YouTube chat. You guys are awesome.